You doing? How you doing? Let me just take a few minutes to set up the stream, make sure we are all good, set up the video details, and then take a second to share it to my social media. Today is Game 5 of the Sabres versus Canadiens, so just give me a few minutes here to get ready. My apologies again for the wait, but this is unfortunately necessary. I'm going to be playing some Benny the Butcher, the Buffalo Freestyle, since Iceman dropping tomorrow from Toronto's Drake. Tonight, actually, at midnight, but essentially Friday release. Buffalo Freestyle by Benny the Butcher. That's what we're listening to. Only his part in the song, though, because we're trying to avoid some copyright.
It's worth more when you earn it. Guilty to verdict. Burning large bills in a furnace. Trash bags of detergent.
It's worth more than when you earn it. It's worth more when you earn it, chap.
Touched a little bit of this paper, I'm still yearning. Drove work 300 times at least, I'm still nervous. Here to speak for the hopefuls, keeping it soulful. Phone face down at the bar, had the drinks like Komodo. Put these meetings on rooftops, never turn into jail visits. It only put a smile on my face when the scale tipping. Despite
Hope these meetings on rooftops never turn into jail visits. It only put a smile on my face when the scale tip it.
the well wishes from y'all, I held distance. They praying my success stories turn into failed missions. They tying me to break every other.
They praying my success stories turned into failed missions. Come on, chap. Are you picking up what the Butcher's putting down? Come on, chat. We're live. We got a Game 5 in Buffalo, New York. Come on, chat. We're going to get right back into it, chat. I'm still trying to set up these video details. They really need a faster way of doing this 5 years from now. Hopefully.
Weekends buying me a safe. I learned it's more satisfying when you wait. Had to hide so many stacks in my crib. I got a booby trap. My closet look like an off-white versus Louis match. All that jealousy obvious. I got hit to it. Even your compliments starting to sound like bitterness. All the pressure I'm living with. Every line delivered with hunger. My flow is short thing like a death certificate.
Every line delivered with hunger. Okay, we are damn near ready, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still getting all set up with the details here. But how is everybody doing out there? How you doing? How you doing? Thursday night, Buffalo, New York. Hockey in Buffalo. Get back into the song, ladies and gentlemen.
Soldiers is dead, spill blood over this bread. Got my family thinking I'm in over my head. Bagging up, breathing chemicals, know the key was the pinnacle.
And my family thinking I'm in over my head every single day of the life, ladies and gentlemen. It's how it's been for your boy.
My high school's giving speeches, speaking political. Got here being original. Every day is like the new me.
I'm at my high school speaking political. It's the Butcher. The Butcher coming. All right, let's save the video details. Hopefully that'll be good. Once the details are saved, they have been saved, I will share it to the social media. Just want to also do a quick audio check. Sounds pretty good, I guess. Okay. So, I'm going to share it now. Let's take a second here.
This man versus me is the criminal. I'm the quiet one in the room, keeping it minimal. To the house big enough, I can park the V in the living room. What you coming? What you coming?
We'll replay that one for Benny. We'll replay that one.
I touched a little bit of this paper, I'm still yearning. Drove work 300 times at least, I'm still nervous. Here to speak for the hopefuls, keeping it soulful. Phone face down at the bar, having drinks like Komodo. Hope these niggas on rooftops never turn into jail visits. It only put a smile on my face when the scale tipping. Despite the well wishes from y'all, I held distance. They praying my success stories turn into failed missions. And tying me to grapes every other week, I'm buying me a safe. I learned what's more satisfying when you wait. At the house, so many stacks in my crib, I got a booby trap. My closet look like an off-white versus Louis match. All that jealousy obvious, I got hit to it. Even your compliments starting to sound like bitterness. All the pressure I'm living with, every line delivered with hunger. My flow is short thing like a death certificate. Soldiers is dead still.
My flow is sure thing like a death certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is me, Duane Grim Demonic. Ladies and gentlemen, ghosts and goblins, witches and wizards, vampires and werewolves. It is Game 5 tonight in Buffalo, New York. The Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens meet for another chance to take the lead here in the playoff series. They're just now showing Buffalo off right there, canal side, the arena, as we are getting all set up for puck drop in Buffalo. You see the boys headed into the arena earlier today. There's Tage Thompson. Absolute highlight reel so far for the Buffalo Sabres in this playoff series. 2026 NHL playoff second round, ladies and gentlemen. It is Game 5 tonight, so the official start time for Game 5 at 7 o'clock. We are about still half an hour away, it seems like, from puck drop. So still some time here to hang out, to chat. We were just listening to the Buffalo freestyle right there from Benny the Butcher. Did that song with Drake. Drake's dropping later tonight. The man from Toronto himself, the Iceman, got the album dropping later. So that's why we were playing the Benny the Butcher feature. Only listening to the verse from Benny, obviously. But of course, new music is always a good thing, in my opinion. Always keeping my ears out there, always listening to what I'm able to listen to when it's free. If it is free, I don't know what Drake is going to charge the people to listen to the album. I'm just hoping people can hear it. That's all you need to know. People kind of upset because, you know, Drake obviously just coming off the beef with Kendrick Lamar. I don't know what happened to One Side Story versus everything else. You know, let the man Drake have his album. Let him have a chance to talk. Let him express how he feels. That's what it's all about. Fuck it. I don't care who wins. They could tear each other apart for all I care. But that is what's happening. Of course, also another reminder tonight for anybody out there watching the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo, New York. We are just now getting live here on TNT with the game getting set in about half an hour from puck drop in Buffalo. Just another reminder out there for anybody tonight in Buffalo. If you are pleasuring yourself, eating some pizza, some chicken wings tonight, you have the luxury, you can afford to have a little bit of fine dining in Buffalo, New York, ladies and gentlemen. Pizza and wings, why not? If you have the ability to do so, please, again, treat the people making your food with respect. The planet doesn't actually circle around you because you ordered pizza and chicken wings. If you have to wait for food, you wanted the food, now you get to wait. Congratulations, you've accepted the terms. So, Just like when you want to buy $1,000 iPhone and you want to turn that motherfucker on, congratulations, you've accepted the terms. They can do what they want to the iPhone now. That's how it works. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are eating out tonight, pizzeria, pizza, chicken wings, Buffalo, New York, treat the people making your food with respect. That's all I'm asking, because if you don't, you can probably find yourself in a situation where you're getting your teeth shoved down your throat by either the people working there or police. It's one or the other. You pick and choose. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are 36 minutes away from puck drop in Buffalo, New York. We got the boys in the royal blue and the gold at home, holding down the ice. It is going to be a tough one tonight because the winner of this game will take the lead in the series. So, if Buffalo gets the win tonight, they can head back into Montreal, possibly thinking about closing this thing out, eliminating the Montreal Canadiens. If the Canadiens get the win tonight, they've pretty much absolutely upset and done the impossible for the underdogs, the lower seeded team here in the tournament, here in the playoffs. If anybody didn't think the Montreal Canadiens would make it this far, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Their opponent now, the one that they have to get through, is the Buffalo Sabres if they want to play in an Eastern Conference Championship against this still awaiting, still to be game of the next matchup, the Carolina Hurricanes. Right there on the edge, still trying to find out who they're going to face in the next round. Another thing we can also talk about tonight, obviously, we've got Zach Benson up there with 2 goals, 4 points total. This series against Montreal, Samuelsson, he's got 11 blocks, 23 hits, absolutely laying down the smackdown. But these are right now leading the team, the Buffalo Sabres, in this series. And as well, I do think that the goalie change was a correct move last game. I don't understand the hatred, my boy. I love the Montreal Canadiens. I wish you guys the best. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I don't care if it goes to 7. I'm just happy that the Buffalo Sabres are back in the playoffs. You can cheer for whoever you want to cheer for. Not about that when you're watching my channel, anything like that. I wish your team all the best. At the end of the day, like I said, only gets harder from here, no matter what team advances. Of course, I'm from Buffalo. I would love my home team to make it. But if you know anything about me, when you come to my channel, we're all here to just hang out and enjoy the game and watch some hockey, my man. So I have nothing against teams from Montreal. My all-time rivals are actually teams from Dallas, Texas. So if you're from Dallas, Texas, you can go fuck yourself. Then you can probably, I can do without you. But if you're not from Dallas, Texas, there you go. My all-time rivals are just teams from Dallas. So really got nothing against the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens are from Montreal. They know how to play hockey a lot better than a team from Buffalo, New York. But Buffalo, New York made it this far after the 15-year playoff drought. I've actually worked at the arena myself, played hockey myself growing up, so I know a thing or two about the Buffalo Sabres. And when I got to see the Montreal Canadiens play, I actually give a lot of credit to the Canadiens for their goalie selections and the goalies that they are able to select on their team. Hell of a team when it comes to their goalie selections. Carey Price, ladies and gentlemen, one of the absolute best goalies I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. So nothing against the Montreal Canadiens. PK Subban, I know, has been really rooting for you guys and giving a lot of encouragement moving forward into the series. Former Montreal Canadian as well. Again, it's been great, but I got nothing against you if you're not from Dallas, Texas. If you want to know why I actually hate teams from Dallas, Texas, since we have a second to talk about it, the Buffalo Sabres have lost a Stanley Cup championship to the Dallas Stars. Can you tell me who played for the Dallas Stars when we lost that Stanley Cup? You can't, because they didn't even have anybody on their fucking team, and they still beat us in the Stanley Cup. Another reason I hate teams from Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys have defeated the Buffalo Bills in 2 back-to-back. The only time, ladies and gentlemen, teams have played in back-to-back Super Bowls was a part of the 90s Bills' historic 4-loss at the Super Bowl run. 2 back-to-back losses to the Dallas Cowboys. I understand that they had a dynasty. I'm not mad at the dynasty. But for the love of God, we could have at least beat the fucking Washington Commanders. How we lost to the Washington Commanders again. Couldn't fucking tell you how these things happen. Buffalo just seems to be that cursed city when they make it all the way to the championship. Really, to me, the thing that I love about Buffalo, New York, and my city personally, and I've always said it, we are the city of dreamers. Me, myself included. I want to make movies. I want to make music one day. I try to do my thing here on YouTube to continue to grow the viewership, grow the channel, do whatever I can to bring in new viewers, bring in a new audience. But me, myself, I have always been a dreamer trying to make my dreams a reality. Buffalo, it seems like, I feel like we're a team. We're the kind of city, even when we make it to the championship and we lose, we want to get right back there and prove ourselves worthy of being in that position once again. So that's all it really comes down to. If you're out there having a few brewskis, again, maybe just hold it back on the fucking shots at each other's team. Again, I'm hoping for a really good game. For me personally, I want one of the best game 5s. If you're talking with me, I want one of the best game 5s I've ever seen in my entire life, ladies and gentlemen. I want us to be talking about this game to our future children if we have any. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be talking about this game 5 for years and years and years to come after tonight. That is how important and how amazing and how exceptional I want this game 5 to be between the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. If the Canadiens can get it done, congratulations. You made it to game 6 and you survive another day. If the Buffalo Sabres can get it done, hell, I've seen them lose in way worse situations, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is not going to be the most heartbreaking night for me as a Buffalo Sabres fan. I just want to get that through your heads. So, for the Buffalo Sabres tonight, the challenge is really defending home ice. We had a really good series last time in Montreal. 1 game lost to the Canadiens, 1 game won by the Sabres. Really good series on the road, and not only that, the Canadiens seem to know how to hold down their home ice as well. It all comes down to who is going to take this advantage in the series tonight. At the end of regulation, what team is going to show that they absolutely got that dog in them? I need to know, ladies and gentlemen. We got Sabretooth out there celebrating with the fans at Canal Side. Take a look at it. And that is TNT Sports, of course. Again, can't show too much of the television because we want to try to restrain from all the copyright that we can, because YouTube does not like when we show the TV. YouTube does not like that actually one bit. So we try to do things the way that we can, entertainment-wise, on our own. Let me just fix the light right quick. Okay. I hate how that light always changes when I go to fucking fix the volume on the TV. It's like the fucking shits are connected, synced up through their receivers, their transmitters. Okay. We are still at commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. It is about 6:43 p.m. here in Buffalo, New York, so still plenty of time for us to chill and hang out before puck drop in Buffalo actually begins. And like I said, when it comes down to me personally, I just want this to be one of the greatest game 5s in the history of the great sport that we know and love called hockey. I want this game to be so fucking good, ladies and gentlemen. It convinces Patrick Kane to sign a contract with the Buffalo Sabres and come finish his career out with his home team, win a Stanley Cup with the boys. Why not? 3-time Stanley Cup champion, make it 4 with the Buffalo Sabres. That is how good I need to be this fucking game 5 to be. I need this game 5 to be so fucking good, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to be so amazing. We have Jim Carrey make an appearance. Bruce Almighty himself will make an appearance. He will come down from the heavens above. He will strike all of the doubters. All of the ones who never believed that the Buffalo Sabres could make it this far. Bruce Almighty will fucking part the heavens and the Stanley Cup will fucking levitate. It will rise above the arena, and the roof will fucking just magically just vanish. The roof off the building will vanish. You'll see the Stanley Cup just float down. It's going to look like something out of a fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie with the special effects. The fucking entire roof is just going to go in a whole third dimension. And the Stanley Cup will come through the roof of the KeyBank Center. The Sabres will look upon it. They will look upon its glory. And they will only imagine what it feels to touch it. But they can only look, ladies and gentlemen. You can look. You cannot touch. You can just look for now. As the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens find themselves in a battle for Game 5 in Buffalo, New York. This one, winner takes the lead in the series. And you got to think the Canadiens really want to make that possible. Heading back with the next game, Game 6, I believe going to be Saturday, scheduled for Saturday. And if necessary, a Game 7 between these two, most likely going to be happening on Monday. We do got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the net. I'm getting text messages right before puck drop.
He had a big gaff. You remember Game 2, first round against Boston.
25 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, left until the official puck drop in Buffalo, New York, between the Sabres and the Canadiens. Thank you so much again for checking out the channel, enjoying some time with me tonight to hang out. Let's continue to chill and talk a little bit here. Again, when we're talking about the pizzerias and the chicken wings in Buffalo, please, again, show people respect. They're making your food. They're trying to work hard for you. You're the one that wanted the food. You can wait for the food. I love some personal pizzerias here in Buffalo that I love. Fra Amici's. It's literally right up the street from me. I can walk there if I wanted to. And then another one, Gino and Joe's. I'm really more of a New York-style kind of pizza guy. My brother, Tom, his favorite in South Buffalo, Lackawanna area is Imperial, which I know is really popular down here with South Buffalo. When Patrick Kane won the Stanley Cup, he celebrated at Imperial, and they put chicken wings in the Stanley Cup. It could happen for the Buffalo Sabres one day, ladies and gentlemen. It could be a reality. It could be a thing of beauty. But personally, I'm thinking Game 5 tonight, the Buffalo Sabres really got to show defensively what they're capable of here. It's going to be tough playing against the Montreal Canadiens. We've seen what they're capable of scoring goals, and they're not going to be a team that's going to back down too early in the game either, just because somebody gets an early goal or anything like that. For me, I also would like to say some pizzerias. I loved Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was really good for like a fast food pizzeria. We like actual pizza here in Buffalo, but for like the fast food stuff out there, I guess in other cities and stuff, Pizza Hut I do really like, and Domino's isn't too bad. Little Caesars is just okay. I don't understand the hype about Little Caesars. It's really just affordable, and that's what makes it great. But other than that, it's not really that good in my opinion. Sbarro, however people want to say it, actual Italian family as well, came over to the States, and one of the most hated pizzeria chains of all time in New York, just because they ended up in malls, and that was affordable for a long time. But I actually, Sbarro wasn't that bad when you could afford it, being a kid growing up. They got Rasmus Dahlin on the mic. Don't know why this man is the captain of the Buffalo Sabres, but we're going to listen to what he has to say about this team in the current playoff situation.
9 total goals for D-men. Is this something you guys talk about internally in the room, or you just take what the game is giving you?
Yeah, I mean, we have so many skilled defensemen on our roster, so it's a huge part of our game. Good force that covers for us, too.
We have so many defensemen on our roster. That's a huge part of our game. Well said, Rasmus Dahlin. Well fucking said. Ladies and gentlemen, captain of the Buffalo Sabres. Couldn't tell you how he's putting up 99 overalls in a fucking EA Sports game. Couldn't tell you how making it to the All-Star game in replace of the person who should be playing in spot, Tage Thompson. When Tage Thompson gets injured, they just say, well, you know what? We got Dahlin to just stick that one in there. But you know what, Dahlin? I'll give you this. You got some power play goals for us, which is really big because the power play has been absolutely shit this entire playoff. Let's hear some more from Rasmus Dahlin.
Manager was switched if he was a player, as a coach, or anyone that spoke to you guys, but you became this physical presence yourself. And is it something that you guys take pride in? And is it tough for you to be that villain, or do you enjoy that role?
Dahlin ain't dropping the gloves.
No, that's how I've been playing my whole career.
Bullshit, Dahlin.
We just have more eyes on us.
Bro, the man is smiling when he says that. You have not been playing that physical your whole career, Dahlin. I cannot take that one. That was a lie if I've ever seen a bold-faced lie on a national television program. Ladies and gentlemen, TNT should just cut off the mic for that. Dahlin, you have not dropped the fucking gloves once this entire playoff series. We've seen Benson go down. This man was trying to trade hands with the goalie from Montreal. You did not once try to drop the gloves with anybody on the ice and stand up for your teammates. Dahlin, you took a shot right to the face. They've been punching you in the back of the head. Fucking the Bruins and the Canadiens have just been having their way with you. Every time they get you in the back of the alley, every time you cross the cell in prison, they just drag you in that motherfucker and just, 2-minute fucking pound town on Dahlin every chance they get. I'm a fan of it because, like I said, Dahlin, you're not the most physical player on the Buffalo Sabres, but I will say this. Don't know why you call yourself a defenseman. Clearly you want to score goals. Clearly you want to be a winger, some kind of a center. You want to shoot the puck. And that is the one thing that you've been doing for us. So credit to be given there. But Dahlin, defensively, yeah, we've at least got a defense that can fucking make up for Dahlin's presence when he's on the ice. I will say that because every time I have seen Dahlin on the ice, the boys are fucking, they are just having their way with him. It is not pretty out there for Dahlin at all. And again, the thing you got to do when you get knocked down, you got to continue to get up. Every time Dahlin picked up that puck in Montreal, they were kind of booing him right out of the arena, which was a bit of a surprise because, again, like I said, I don't understand a lot of the animosity between Buffalo and Montreal. Never really a city that I've hated. I don't think people from Buffalo or Montreal have anything against each other in general. Again, when it comes to playoff hockey in the National Hockey League, ladies and gentlemen, very passionate sport, very passionate individuals, and some diehard fans out there for their teams. So granted, to be expected. But again, Dahlin, getting booed out of Montreal. Again, Dahlin, you're just going to have to show the people what you're capable of because the fans in Montreal, they just don't see it, man. They know what the fuck you're about, and I've seen it myself. And yeah, you just scoring goals is good, but you're going to have to learn how to play defense if that's what you're actually getting paid to do eventually. So that's the way I look at it. Again, Lindy Ruff, great coach this year for the Buffalo Sabres, really made the necessary changes, I feel like, to actually get the Sabres in a position to even compete in a round 2. So Lindy Ruff coming around for the boys this year and taking them really deep. We are a young team. We are an actual, young team. Current average age in the NHL is about 27, 28. I'd probably say 29 years old maximum. So it is a very young league right now. The boys are out there trying to prove themselves. And believe it or not, as young as a team as the Buffalo Sabres are, with this current roster that we have, the Montreal Canadiens are an even younger team. So they even have a lot more hunger and that willingness to kind of go out there and prove themselves just as much as the Buffalo Sabres right now, as they've also made it this far into the playoffs. I would like to say as well, ladies and gentlemen, since I this is just me, but I loved Pizza Hut back in the day, and one of the things I would actually get, one of the things that I would get there, which was really affordable, you got to see this. This was times, what a time to be alive. The fucking $10 box. Look at all this food you could get for $10 back in the day, ladies and gentlemen. They don't make shit like this anymore. You had your pizza, you had your fucking cinnamon sticks, shit had fucking breadsticks. It was good times for $10. And maybe, $12 because of the tax. But still, shit like that does not exist anymore, ladies and gentlemen. You will never see that again in your life. Times like that are extinct now. Believe it or not, those times are far beyond us. They will never happen again in our history of our time in life. Oh man, all that food for $10. It was good times. And also, you could really go to McDonald's and get like a whole family box. I think it was like $10, $15. That entire pizza that I just showed you guys, the pizza, the cinnamon sticks, the breadsticks, the sauces, all of that for $10, $12 with the tax. Today would be $25.99, maybe 30. They would probably push it to 30, knowing these greedy corporate sons of bitches. They'd probably try to squeeze you for the $30 because it's a whole three, $10 for each. We got the fucking, that's how they think. But man, what a time to be alive back in the day when we could actually afford to fucking enjoy ourselves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, times have changed. We got people all upset over the price of WWE tickets. I tried telling them, listen, it's never going to change. The price on the WWE tickets aren't going to change if people are still going to the shows. They're still selling out arenas. People are still buying the tickets. They're not going to change the price anytime soon. It's the exact same concept behind Call of Duty video games and all these video games where they're charging you fucking $75, $80. I seen this year WWE 2K, 4 fucking different versions. No reason behind making 4 versions of different covers and different versions of the game. You got a fucking Joe Henry DLC and a fucking WrestleMania pack for like $150 if you decided to buy the $150 version of the game. And again, nothing in that entire price tag was actually worth it to me. Again, guys, they're going to keep charging you these prices if people continue to buy and afford these types of things in life. If people continue to buy Call of Duty is never going to change and never go back to the way that they once were. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Black Ops days, Modern Warfare 2. It's never going to be that again because guess what? They have too many people buying their game now and they don't care about making the people that they need to make happy because they're happy in life. They got the money. They got your money, so they're happy. They're not going to turn away your money. You have to be the one to say, hey, listen, I don't like the game. I don't want to buy the game. Until the game changes, we're not going to play it. That's kind of how these things work now. I don't think people realize a lot of that, but that's okay. At least the good thing is, and this is a thing that I've been thinking about as well recently, it's so hard for me sometimes to try to get myself out there with all the things that I have at my disposal, trying to put my music out there, produce my music, show people my video ideas and content here on the channel. It's a lot hard when you don't have the greatest equipment and the best studio setup or anything like that. It's really gone to shit over the past 9-10 years. You would think that there would have been some, upgrades and stuff over time, but really it's just been a struggle to kind of, find a way to keep it going, really, when you don't have the financial access. Again, guys, I would like to show you a lot of the TV and have more things on the channel where we do show things like movies and even more music and stuff like that. The problem is YouTube's copyright is very strict at the moment in 2026. I am trying to go for that YouTube partnership, which I have to be at 500 subscribers to even apply for a YouTube partnership. And that goes for anybody out there. That's not just for me. That's the way YouTube does it. If nobody believes me, I can actually show you, because I know there's a lot of naysayers out there, but they actually tell you, yeah, you need to be at this amount of subscribers to actually go for YouTube partnerships. And basically the YouTube partnership just allows me to get away with a little bit more during the live streams. Obviously, if you're a partner with YouTube, they're going to know what the fuck is going on. So they're not really going to be as strict to actually shut shit down. But here you go. Let me actually switch the camera here, as we're just about 2 minutes away from game time. But this is basically what I'm talking about. You can basically start your earning journey. And here's the eligibility right there. So right there, you need to be at 500 subscribers. Not making it up. That's just the way that it is on YouTube. And they literally tell you exactly what you need to kind of get to be where you need to be. So until I can actually make it to that partnership, another reason people actually can't tip or donate here on YouTube is because I'm not a YouTube partner. The only way you would actually be able to tip or donate while watching the stream is through a third-party service like Cash App. So until you actually become a YouTube partner, any viewers or anybody watching out there, I definitely appreciate your support. And if you would like to donate, you just have to do so right now through a third-party service. Until we get that YouTube partnership, tips and donations can't come through any YouTube live streams or anything like that. So, but we are about 2 minutes away from puck drop here in Buffalo, New York, ladies and gentlemen. I expect a great game here out of both of these teams. Again, the winner tonight going to take the lead in the series, moving into Game 6. We are just about ready now. It is 7 o'clock, so I will turn off the lights. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is game time. Let's get the volume going here.
You can trade every game on Kalshi. For a limited time, you download
Everybody is out there betting, gambling, legally, illegally. Who gives a fuck? You got ESPN and TNT promoting it with Kalshi here. Never heard of Kalshi in my life, but there you go. Apparently the win odds for Buffalo, 50. And the Montreal Canadiens win odds for this game, 50. Who would have thought, ladies and gentlemen? 50% for both teams on their win odds tonight for Game 5. So if you are out there betting, legally, illegally, at the Seneca Creek Casino right down the street, ladies and gentlemen, from 1 Seymour H. Knox the Third Plaza. I know the address by heart. Like I said, I've worked there many times in my life. Just down the street if you are gambling tonight, putting some bets on the game. Apparently tonight the odds in favor of both teams. Nobody knows who's going to really take Game 5 as this series is all tied up. Both these teams have kind of proven themselves against each other as well. Turn that volume down a little bit because I feel the pre-game reporters here kind of talking over your boy a little bit, but that's all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 7 o'clock here in Buffalo, New York. At any minute now, Terry Pagula is going to actually pay the people what they get paid to do. And we are going to get ready for a hockey game here in Buffalo. Let's go. I have been hearing, ladies and gentlemen, and this is one thing that I would like to talk about with you as well. The current schedule for me remaining. Whatever happens in this series happens with the Buffalo Sabres. I'm hoping that they make it far, but whenever it ends, obviously we're not going to be streaming the playoffs anymore. But after the Buffalo Sabres and their Stanley Cup playoff run, 4th of July coming up for me. So big 4th of July this year. I would like to do something special on the channel. No idea what I'm going to do yet, but I have been thinking about what I want to do and definitely some options. So 4th of July special still coming up this year. I have heard, and there are rumors, that this year on Thanksgiving, Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs in the Thanksgiving matchup. Haven't looked at the schedule myself yet for the Buffalo Bills, but I have heard rumors of this. So I will have to still look at that Buffalo Bills schedule to see when the big games are scheduled for us next season. America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating, but really, I do still have an entire big October season planned for us this year. Still have my idea of what I would like to do for the channel. It's actually kind of interesting to me because I've taken a big step back from all of the gaming content, which is unfortunate. I feel like a lot of people don't really watch a lot of my videos for gaming and gaming content. So me being in the position I'm in, I can't really afford to play games anymore. So it's kind of forced me to be in this position where I have to make new content and figure out new ways to kind of keep the channel alive and just keep it going. Last year, one of the things that really surprised me, Regiment GG, which is a professional gaming team out there, actually more so for like Call of Duty and stuff like that, but they actually it's for active military members and former military members, any veterans, anybody injured in the military. So it's actually Regiment GG asked me to do my first ever charity stream, and I didn't even have like any games that I could play. I really liked the opportunity, and I jumped at it because I was like, hell yeah, man! I get to fucking do a first ever charity stream, and I get to help out the veterans and active military members. Something that I'm very, passionate about. They asked me to stream, and I didn't even have any fucking games to stream. So I ended up just playing The Last of Us, which I kind of just had laying around. Um, I was like, fuck it, we got to put something out there. But yeah, that's been one of the things that's kind of been the biggest difficulty for my channel is like, getting opportunities like that is great, but what the fuck am I going to upload if I don't, have anything to really play or upload? So I guess I've just been trying to think of, new video ideas and stuff to actually keep the channel going this year. And there is Buffalo, New York, ladies and gentlemen. We are all ready for Game 5 here between the boys, the Sabres and the Canadiens. Boys taking the ice. Here we go. All set to go, ladies and gentlemen. That Thompson goal was absolutely epic. Man, has been an absolute highlight reel this entire series. Like I said, hopefully he can keep the streak going for the boys here in the playoffs. As we continue tonight for Game 5, the boys now getting ready for national anthems. There was a game that I was playing previously, too, the 1 year for October. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but I think it had David Harbour from Stranger Things in it. It was like some kind of detective game where it was old school, kind of like over the head style survival horror. The reason I actually didn't continue playing that game, it wasn't because I didn't enjoy it or anything. The one day I went to go live stream the game, I went to go play the game, and I never ended up pressing live. I never ended up going live. So I ended up playing like half an hour or like 45 minutes into the game and just lost all of that gameplay and all of that. Couldn't even go back and restart from a checkpoint or a save or anything. So I was like, well, can't play that anymore. We're going to have to move on to the next one. Wasn't because I didn't like the game or anything. It's just, one day I went to go live stream it and forgot to apparently go live. Sometimes when I go live on my games, it's weird though, because it'll say that I'm live and then I'm not live. So it's done that a few times, I've noticed, at least with the PS5 and shit. But there has been a few times where it's like it'll say that I'm live and I'm not live. So yeah, I played like 35 minutes or 45 minutes of like, it was maybe part 3 or part 4 in the entire upload series. And yeah, once I noticed that I wasn't even recording or streaming, I was like, well, shit, I can't even go back and do any of that over. We're just going to have to end that series. So, but there's always new things on the out there for me. Like I said, can't really play any monthly games even on PlayStation because I don't even have a $10 subscription right now to PlayStation Online. No, ladies and gentlemen, cannot even afford the $10 to play PlayStation subscription for a month. Bad times right now. Down bad indeed. Moment of silence right now, I believe, as the boys out there showing their tributes and honors to the recently deceased. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our anthem singer, our anthems have begun in Buffalo, New York. It is time for Game 5, the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to take a sip of a soda. Ladies and gentlemen, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. We're going to be here until the end. I got an entire series on my channel. I got an entire playlist on my channel, ladies and gentlemen, dedicated to me just whooping teams from Dallas, Texas, and their ass. That is how much I hate teams from Dallas, Texas. So any other team's pretty cool with me. Recently, Kansas City has definitely been a pain in my ass, and Patrick Mahomes. They've ruined the dreams a couple times, more than once here in Buffalo for me. So they have been a pain in the ass over the last few years, but they've got nothing over teams from Dallas, Texas, and my hatred for teams from Dallas, Texas. Entire playlist on my channel dedicated to me just whooping their ass. The only thing I can ever really make an exception for Dallas, Texas, they did make my favorite soda, Dr. Pepper, so okay, Fort Worth, we'll give you that. But they also, I don't know when it happened, Optic, they just decided to take the team out of Chicago and put them in Dallas, Texas, so that was a little bit of a heartbreaker and a bummer, but they seem to be doing all right for themselves. That is the only time I will ever make an exception. Optic Gaming, the Green Wall, brick by brick. Once upon a time in Chicago, please Hex, put them back where they belong. And that is my side of the story. That's my defense. I was never a fan of them when they were in Dallas, Texas. I liked them when they were in Chicago originally. And then somehow Hex decided, you know what, we're just going to move the team. Everybody's going to come play in Dallas. Actually, what ended up happening too, I don't think they were in Dallas to begin with. They might have been, but I know they went to Texas first. I used to like another team, Team Envy. Team Envious was another team that I really wanted to play for. But what ended up happening to Team Envious is when the Call of Duty League actually formed around like the 6 or the 8 teams that they wanted to focus on, maybe more than that, 10, 12, whatever. It was Envious became Dallas Empire. And then Dallas Empire actually decided to merge and do a business deal with Optic Gaming. So Envious and Optic are actually the same team right now. They're owned by the same partners. Again, once upon a time, used to be 2 teams that I dreamed of playing for, Optic and Envious. Who would have thought down the line they'd actually become the same team? So yeah, now it's just Dallas, Optic, Texas.
The first time Montreal had won back-to-back games these playoffs. They've yet to lose back-to-back games after alternating wins with Tampa in their first.
Buffalo is 5-10 all time in Game 5 when the series is tied 2-2 in a best of 7. 5-10, ladies and gentlemen. We got the numbers against us. I don't know how they haven't taken those odds into consideration at the casino, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Puck drop has officially begun in Buffalo. This one ends up behind the net in the Sabres' defensive zone. Sabres send it down the ice, get it over center. And the Sabres still control puck right now in their defensive zone. So I would like to take things back maybe to the gaming stuff eventually, but it just really hasn't been a strict focus at the time being for me. It's a bit unfortunate though, because I will say, and this is this is just me personally, but through my entire life, I'm always trying to work hard and continuously put out a quality where I think it's at least somewhat acceptable. It might not be the entire vision of what I'm going for right now. Like, I definitely want to produce better quality and put better stuff out there on my channel. I just don't have the financial ability right now to do so. I know that's an excuse that I keep beating to death, but it's the truth. There's a lot of times where, like, personally, I'll, get into arguments with my mom even. And it's sad because I don't like to get into arguments with family and stuff, but, she doesn't really understand what it takes to do things like the music and to do, like, the video content on YouTube and stuff nowadays. I think a lot of times she'll see how successful other people are at it, and then she'll kind of look at me like, why is it not fucking going the way it needs to go? And, it's my fault and stuff, but it's, not so much just on her. I think even on social media and the internet in general, there's been a lot of comments out there, and there's been a lot of people who think, Buffalo Sabres right there. Buffalo Sabres get the first goal in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we will pull out the blades for the boys. They're saying it's a goal for Zucker, 17 for the Buffalo Sabres. Josh Allen, are you watching out there? 17 gets it for the Buffalo Sabres. Zucker, ladies and gentlemen, first goal of the game. got a piece of it down low and was set up right there in front of the net, just bounced off in front of him. Looks like it actually went off a Dahlin's skate. So Zucker credited right now for it, but it looks like Dahlin was in the right position to actually bounce it in off his skate. So they might actually give it to Dahlin after that. But right now it's all Zucker goal. But as I was saying, there's been a lot of comments and people think, I think what happens, like I said, I feel like me personally, when I think about where I'm at right now in life, if you don't have any kind of financial success to show people, if you're not surrounded by millions of dollars, or if you don't have the $1 million production quality in your videos, people kind of just think you're a nobody, or that you just don't really know what you're talking about. You're not important in this life. I've seen a lot of stuff like that over my time of just trying to express how I feel about stuff that I love. And I think, because people don't see me surrounded by the best production quality, or, I don't surround myself with the most money, they might think I don't know what I'm talking about. But again, these are all things that I'm trying to actually incorporate myself in one day and actually become more than just what I'm doing right now. I would like to actually create and become something that I actually see myself, actually being one day involved with a lot of the things that I love and care about. It's hard when you constantly have people looking at you like you're not working, or you're not trying to improve, and you're not trying to be better. And that's what I mean when it's like, arguments with my mom and stuff. I think she just sees a lot of the other stuff out there for people and how easy it is for them and stuff, but it really hasn't been that easy for me at all. And I try to figure things out on my own terms and always just be my own kind of coach and find a way to do things my own and myself. I don't really have anybody helping me out or anybody assisting me at all, so it's really just been me over the years trying to figure out what's best for me. I've always felt like at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't Google a person, an entire list of achievements and their fucking biography doesn't pop up, it makes me feel essentially like I'm nobody. When I Google my name, Duane Lincoln, my dad's death certificate pops up. His entire obituary is the first thing you see because we have the same name. So it makes me feel in a little bit of a way like I'm dead in a bit to the world. Because that's kind of the only thing people will see when they search my name at the moment, unless you put my middle name in there, which is Mario. That's pretty much the thing that separates us. He was Duane Thomas Lincoln, I'm Duane Mario Lincoln. So I'm not a junior, I'm not the second. We have different middle names. But when you Google my name, his death certificate and his obituary pops up because he passed away in 2012 when I was 14 years old. Didn't even make it to high school yet. Didn't even graduate from 8th grade. Passed away in February. Ozone time, the net comes to shot. They get that double deflect. But it all starts just a failure to clear, winning a wall battle, keep the play alive. And the Sabres get rewarded. Yeah, they're still giving it to Zucker on that goal. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, about 5 minutes have passed in the period. We're sitting at 15-20 in the first, and the Buffalo Sabres leading 1-0. It is a bit unfortunate to say that, unless you can kind of Google yourself, you don't really feel like you're anybody. And I mean, I've always asked myself that question. How are there so many people out there that are kind of just like me or whatever? One night, they're just an average person just like me or you, and then the next thing, you can Google them and everybody all of a sudden knows about them, and it's a life-changing thing. I hate to compare it to this, but it reminds me a lot of a movie with Danny DeVito, and it's like a Christmas movie. I think it's called Deck the Halls. But the entire movie, he's basically trying to make his house seen from space. He wants his house bright enough on Christmas where people can actually see his house from space. And it feels like my life has been a lot of that in a way over the past 28 years. Going to be 29 in October. But when I think about the past 28 years for myself, I've been struggling so much just to try to find the right person to help me out. And you know, wanna work with me and try to do things the right way. I have struggled so much. It's crazy to me that strangers, local people from Buffalo, will love the music so much and support it so much. People I don't even know, people that don't even have any money, they'll tell me that they want to sign me. And then you got all these executives and all these major labels out there don't even know I currently exist. So it is very hard, you know, because there's a lot of arguments with people that I love, with my mom and stuff. And she doesn't understand what YouTube or making videos or any of that stuff. And she's 65, guys. It's not... Though the internet and trying to teach her how to do computers and phones is difficult enough. Technology is far superior beyond her time. It's... My dad was born in 58 and my mom was born in 62.
So quick, his ability to open up that shooting lane.
When I think about it, though, you know, she's always very supportive of it, but it is just hard at times. And the Canadiens get it right back. Canadiens just scored right there. I believe Cole Caulfield, number 13 for the Montreal Canadiens, respond right back down the end, other end of the ice. Yep, that's a goal right there for Caulfield, number 13. Canadiens get it right back in the first period. So we are all tied up here, ladies and gentlemen. Sabres and Canadiens sitting at 1 goal apiece in Game 5. Like I said, taking it back down just because you got the first goal in the game. They are going to continue that pressure, continue applying pressure. Luukkonen way too far out of the net. Wasn't even in the blue. Luukkonen way too out of position, and Caulfield just backdoor puts it right in the net. That's his 11th career goal postseason. It's just hard when I think people don't understand how hard I work, like how hard I'm continuously trying to get better, and how much I want to get better and improve myself and improve the quality. I think they always kind of just look at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing with his time? But I've always thought about, you know, for music, obviously doing things like music videos. There's been the things now where I know they generate the videos where they're kind of on a loop, where you just see like an image or some kind of like, I don't know, just a looped fucking image of something cool to look at in like the music videos and shit. A lot of people do that now. All that's a possibility. But like I said, for the studio demo stuff, I just don't feel like it's really necessary if I'm not at that point in my life right now. Like, I don't really need... I could do the music videos and stuff, not that it wouldn't help or anything, but then I'd have to buy the camera, I'd have to buy the editing software. Can't use DaVinci Resolve because our Lenovo IdeaPad 1 isn't powerful enough to run that. Great laptop. I love this laptop. Not taking any shots at it. Christmas gift right there from my mom. But just not powerful enough to run DaVinci Resolve, which is free editing software. Most of your popular YouTubers or anybody with a desktop is most likely using DaVinci Resolve to edit a lot of their videos. So I'm stuck trying to find another way or just another cheaper software to kind of do my stuff right now. Like I said, guys, my desktop in the studio died. It was 9-10 years old, so it no longer is even... I get black screen. I get black screened. I have to put it in safe mode every time I try to fucking turn the thing on. It is not good. The desktop is done. There will never be any more HPs, no more Dells. I don't even want to fucking speak Microsoft's name in this house anymore. The longer that I have a fucking any kind of laptop, desktop, anything, it will never be another HP or Dell again. Holy shit. Anytime I try to turn it on, it is just go to safe mode and try to get this thing up and running to what it used to be. It's no longer possible. The laptop pretty much just stopped taking a battery charge, so that kind of sucked when that died. But they were both pretty much 9-10 years old. I got everything around 2016 when I first made my music studio down here. And yeah, since 2016, about 9-10 years later, things get old when you don't upgrade them and you don't try to put new parts in them and stuff. my goal was to never like upgrade them like that. I was always just going to buy another, better thing. And that's the great thing about 2026 today is I can actually do a lot of my music and stuff on a laptop. I don't necessarily need a desktop anymore to kind of really do it. Having a laptop is good enough. I can actually get it done with just a laptop. So that's a good thing about 2026 and technology today is laptops are actually at a good place. Desktop, however, a little bit more out of my budget. It sucks because on my laptop, I loved burning CDs for my mom back in the day. I loved making like little mixtapes for her. The last one that I made for her was dedicated all to her favorite country artist. She's a big fan of the country genre. Country music, really popular genre here in Buffalo, New York. So the last mixtape CD that I kind of made for her was like all her favorite country artists and just songs that she really liked. I can't actually burn CDs or anything anymore on this laptop, which sucks because that was going to be one of the ways that I was going to sell some of my studio demos or at least like put them out there. This laptop doesn't even have the ability to burn CDs. And the Buffalo Sabres, ladies and gentlemen, get it right back. 12:15 left in the first. The Buffalo Sabres get a response goal right back. It is a shootout here in the first. 2-1. Currently, the Buffalo Sabres have the leading goal, and they're giving it to 91 Duane for the Buffalo Sabres. Good, real fucking good dangle move right there. Actually, like a spinorama to get around 48. Got around 48, right at the red marks. Passed it back to the red dot. Hit a player down low. And right back to the blue line, just passing it around. And yeah, right place at the right time. Benson down there low as well. But that was pretty much a one-timer right there from your defense. So Duane, 91 for the Buffalo Sabres, makes it a 2-1 game in Game 5. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. The Buffalo Sabres. Oh, no, the Canadiens got it right back. I'm not even lying. The Canadiens immediately just responded. That's the Buffalo Sabres defense for you, ladies and gentlemen. The kryptonite I've been talking about at its finest. Sabres defense in Buffalo on home ice. We are fucking cursed. These boys cannot defend home ice to save their life. If Terry Pegula had a fucking $1 billion on the line, the Buffalo Sabres would not play defense if it fucking mattered. I promise you that. But the Montreal Canadiens do get the goal immediately right back. Not even any time really to celebrate for the fans in Buffalo on that one. Win a face-off right at center ice, just fucking put it in the Sabres zone. Hits a skate. A lot of pucks hitting the skates down low here. Going in the net for this one. But, I mean, you get the ricochet goal. You know, the players are in the right spot when they need to be. And they're just getting the pucks in the back of the net. That's all you really have to do to get the goal. So, right now, ladies and gentlemen, Game 5. It is all tied up 2-2, the Sabres and the Canadiens. You could basically call it a game sitting at 0 apiece. Because this one, the boys have absolutely been shooting it out with each other in Buffalo, New York, like the Alamo. Shootout at the Alamo in Buffalo, New York. Why not? Shootout at the Alamo, Golden Corral. Golden Corral, OK Corral. Golden Corral is actually a pretty good buffet. I went there one time. Best buffet experience in my life. I don't know. If people want to hate on the Golden Corral, I don't get to go there too often. It's a rare experience for me. So I enjoyed it. But best buffet experience I've ever had. First period, ladies and gentlemen. 11 minutes and 23 seconds left between the Sabres and Canadiens in the first period. Game 5 in Buffalo, New York. This series is all tied up in the best of 7 right now between Buffalo and Montreal. So each team sitting at 2 games apiece in the best of 7. And again, after this series, once we find out who will be the winner, they will move on to the Eastern Conference Championship round, and they will be playing the Carolina Hurricanes next. So still a lot of hockey left to be played. if these two teams want to stay in this tournament, keep playing for a championship. Alex Tuck out there for the Buffalo Sabres. 19 gets knocked down a little bit at center ice. No penalty called on that. Sabres take it around their net, around the boards. But the Montreal Canadiens fight for it back. Sabres now control the puck. Pass it over the blue line. That puck rattles off the stick of Tuck. Can't get control of it. And now, on the possession, it is the Montreal Canadiens. So I definitely have always thought about ways to improve the videos and improve content over time. One day, hopefully it's possible. Like I said, one day, it's definitely the goal and it's definitely the vision. I would like nothing more, guys, than to sit here and try to create exactly what I'm going for and to give you guys the vision that I kind of see this channel being. When I think about my channel in general, Phenomenal Legend Killers, where we are here in 2026, I really would like one day for this channel to just become a place where it's kind of almost like an Optic Gaming or 100 Thieves, LA Thieves with Nate Shot. I really want it to be a place where maybe one day we can sign, you know, other streamers, other entertainers, other gamers, and we can all have this kind of this center, this headquarters to upload all of our content where it just doesn't have to be about me and my stuff anymore. I would like this to really be a thing that we can grow and share with each other. We're just not really at that point in time yet. But when I think about my channel and when I think about what I would like to see it become one day, I'm really going for something along the lines of an Optic Gaming and 100 Thieves.
This is in the slot for Elenus. Regathers.
Good goal right there by the Buffalo Sabres, right off the pass. And it is a goal right at the blue line for the Buffalo Sabres, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, we got a shootout here in the first. My God, the hockey gods are blessing us in Game 5 tonight in Buffalo, New York, ladies and gentlemen. So far, Buffalo hockey at its finest. I know Rick Jenneret got to be looking down from the heavens with a smile on his face for that one. Rest in peace, Rick Jenneret. That was an absolute power of a shot. I believe it was Samuelson.
Wasn't prepared for it, and his stick position was a little off, and it goes underneath him. One that he would have 100 times out of 100. He just wasn't ready.
Great shot right there from the Buffalo Sabres. Makes this a 3-2 game in Buffalo, New York. Feels like anything you can do, we can do better right now. Nice hit right there from the Sabres. But the Canadiens still have the puck, and this one dump and chase around the boards. Buffalo's on it first.
I watched Marty St. Louis look right over to Trevor Letowski, and you know, there's just a small exchange right there. And
it is obviously, I would like to do a lot of the improvements on the video qualities and everything. It's not that I don't want to. At the end of the day, I really wish I could fucking sit here and edit everything and create everything that my little heart desires, but I'm just not really at that point in my life right now. It just really sucks when you see a lot of people out there and some of their comments on the videos. I'm okay with people leaving their comments and their thoughts, but it's the same thing from people who don't even have the desire to kind of create their own content or any of their own videos. So whenever I kind of see stuff like that, I kind of just ignore it, because I've been on YouTube ever since 2009. This is not the first channel I ever had. It's the most consistent one I've had, but it's not the first channel I've ever had. So I've been around YouTube since 2009. Oh, good pass to the front right there for the Sabres. Just off the skate. And a wrist shot all the way from the blue line for the Sabres. Hits a player down low. Sabres right now are trying to call for an interference on that.
but nobody's going to get it as the refs just deny that, keep the play going. And the Sabres still trying to defend their zone. Now they get it out of there. And the Sabres, you can hear the energy in Buffalo, New York. I got the volume a little low so we can avoid copyright. And they are definitely letting the Montreal Canadiens know how they feel tonight. Like I said, absolutely love that out of my city, ladies and gentlemen, that every time the boys are out there to play, the city shows up right behind them, ready to go. 7 minutes and 10 seconds remain here in the first period. Dahlin, good pass across. That one couldn't find its way in the back of the net.
What a save. Trying to make that kind of save, pushing forward and then springing out that right leg.
Down to the final 7 minutes here in the first period. Carrier to the net. That one sails.
It just kind of sucks. Like I said, you see, you know, even taking it from people that I care from or people that I love, where they really just feel like I'm not really working as hard as they feel like I could be or something, but I truly think of every day how to improve, how to get better, how to try to be better than the person I was yesterday. I know right now this may not be the greatest quality or the greatest content on my channel, but I feel like it's something for the time being, and it at least lets me upload and share my thoughts and put something out there.
They're getting through and they're ending up in the back of the net on both sides.
This is cleared out.
Literally just had to take my car off the road, and that's another thing, you know, how are you can't really go to job interviews or anywhere that far anymore because I just don't have the ability to travel that much anymore. So that's one of the hard things too. It's like I've just been doing DoorDash, which is nice, but I just kind of have the ability to do that on my bike. On the little Huffy. Hauling ass on the Huffy. First period, 5 minutes and 43 seconds left. I don't know. I feel like I always try my best to work as hard as I possibly can and show people at least there's some potential, or at least, you know, put my ideas out there. If people don't like them, whatever. I've learned, you know, from the stuff that I've done with music, and this is one of the big takeaways. It's like right now, I haven't even done everything that I want to do in music. Like, there's still so much. I think about myself doing music for the next 30 to 40 years. With the stuff that I've even put out, I haven't even done the stuff that I've wanted to do yet. So I think there's always room for improvement, and there's always a way to get better. But even when I think about where I'm at right now, I mean, there's still so much I want to do and so much I want to accomplish, so much I want to create.
Krebs and Slavkovsky tie up and go down. Thompson takes the puck. Tage Thompson,
the Jigsaw, the entire reason really for Jigsaw and this entire project, this entire studio project, is really just to play around with more of the new metal sounds, where it's like a combination of hip hop and metal, horrorcore, rap, heavy metal, new metal sounds. Just trying to experiment more with combining those. That was kind of the entire reason for like the spin-off project. Good effort right there from the Sabres down low, but it looks like the Canadiens goaltender defender able to freeze up the biscuit. Like I said though, even something where I thought I was able to you know, in the future kind of like not sell studio demos, but at least fucking, you know, if anybody on the streets, like, at least, like, fucking on the streets have a little box and fucking hand them out to people walking by or something. I was thinking to myself, at least I could, like, try to burn demos in my CDs and try to, like, get those out there. But, yeah, my laptop doesn't even really have the ability to burn CDs, which was hard to accept. So I had to kind of chalk that idea off the board. Because, again, the only way that I really have a way of showing people my music now when they ask me, I guess, you know, most people would have like an MP3 USB file or something. But for me, it's really just, hey, here's my Instagram handle, here's my account, I upload everything to Instagram right now. Try my best to avoid, the bullshit with YouTube and their copyright system.
The waves are calling your name, but actually.
So everything is available on Instagram. It just feels like when you tell people it's available on Instagram, they're kind of like, well, what the fuck is going on here? So it's hard to like you promote yourself in that way and to get exposure when people are already looking at it like, oh, this isn't going to be the quality or, their expectations up to their standards. I feel like, though, the great thing about the internet and social media, like I've always said, having Instagram and having my Twitter, it's allowed me to actually have way more interaction with people, which is the thing that I actually love. And that's really the main reason why I don't do Facebook anymore. There was an entire period in my life where I lost my Facebook account, had all my fans locally from music. I mean, I had some baddies on there in the inbox. I was talking to the Buffalo Snow Bunnies, Lost all of that one day because I was using an old email that I fucking forgot the password to and shit. This is like 2016. So lost that Facebook and kind of really had to rebuild myself ever since that day. It's felt like I've really been trying to start all over from the beginning ever since that. But I do like having Instagram and Twitter a lot more with the interaction. It allows me to actually share and, show my community the things that I love. That's the reason that I love the interaction, is because at any given moment, somebody can come across me or my videos or who I am as a person, and they can show me to their community, or they can show me to their friends, or somebody that can fucking want to do business with me or something. And that's the beautiful thing about it. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube and where we're at with the internet nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. There's an entire world out there of people. Couple billion people on planet Earth, I believe. So at any given point in time, somebody can kind of just discover you. It is hard to be discovered, but it is possible. It is improbable, but it's not impossible. It is improbable, but it's not impossible. So that's kind of that's the one thing that I love, is I always love being able to share my friends, or I love being able to, share other people's ideas and, just show my community, this is what I like, this is what I enjoyed.
He was brilliant with that mental strength that he had.
Couple of turnovers each direction, leads the puck back out to the neutral zone.
I think the interaction has been really great nowadays on the internet as opposed to how it was back in the day. I mean, it feels like even now for me on the streets of Buffalo, New York, it's harder out here on the streets of Buffalo, New York, because trust me, guys, there's been a lot of moments in my life where you do try to sell yourself to people, and they'll either just reject you immediately and get the fuck out of here kind of thing, or they won't even give it a chance. And that's the thing about people in Buffalo. It's like, that's the downfall. It's like, here in Buffalo, you try to sell yourself, people might not even give it a chance. But if something exists on the internet, if you upload a video and it's out there forever, it now exists because you created it. So at any moment, somebody can find it. They can give it a chance at any moment when they feel like giving it the chance. Here in Buffalo, if you try to sell yourself in person, some people might be like, you know what, that's not for me, whatever.
So far, Buffalo and Montreal.
Take one defender. Add a large helping of sand. Mix in some rocks.
We are currently, ladies and gentlemen, at a commercial break. Great game so far, Game 5. Really fucking good shootout between the Sabres and the Canadiens. Must admit, a lot more goals than I expected here in the first.
Serve on a plateau of your choosing.
But unfortunately, I've kind of noticed a lot of that backlash from doing a lot of YouTube over the years and just trying to put yourself out there a little bit more, where it's like you might receive comments where people feel like you're just talking to talk, or you don't know what you're talking about. But at the same time, is this not the era of podcast? Is this not the era where people are just making a living, sitting in a room talking with each other and talking about things like that are on the news and shit? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure podcasts are pretty popular nowadays. Not that that's not what we're going for or anything like that. I'm just saying, people sit in their room all the time talking to their friends and whoever and fucking have these discussions and these conversations, and they seem to be doing pretty just fine for themselves in life. They got other jobs and other ways of making money too, but, you know, some people might just know them because they have a podcast or they watch the podcast is the point I'm making. You might just know them from the podcast, so... Podcast is not exactly what we're going for here on the channel. Phenomena basically represents all of my music. Phenomena is like my record label. If I had any, it's a $20 record label. It's not a fucking, it's not your $1 million label. That's another thing that's hurt us is I don't have the engineers. I don't have the producers. I don't have the managers. I don't have the distribution. I don't have the promotion, right? There's no distributors. There's no Sony distributing it. There's no Warner Brothers distributing it. There's no YouTube promotion behind it. Don't have any money to invest in the promotion of these videos or anything, so that's another thing that's kind of hurt the popularity a little bit. Not having any of those assets at all, but ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes remain in Game 5. It is the first period. Buffalo Sabres still with the 1-goal lead, 3-2 over the Montreal Canadiens. But yeah, for me, I would always say, like, the day where I can, like, maybe Google myself and at least some kind of list of achievements or a biography pops up like it does for everybody else, I'll feel like, okay, you know, I'm kind of doing something for myself now. I'm at least, you know, I can probably fucking move out of the hood and not be surrounded by gangbangers and thieves and fucking the hood rats and the ratchets and, you know. Not that there's anything wrong with my neighborhood. I love my neighborhood, but I've been here for 29 years. I'm good on my neighborhood. I'd like to see something else. I really want to move away from people and just be by myself. The country sounds really nice, but I don't know. Every time I talk to my mom about moving, she's like, I don't want to sell the house. Nobody's going to sell the house until my mom passes away. That's another thing I don't want to talk about and don't want to think about it. So it doesn't seem like I'm going to move out of here until fucking, you know, the time on my life, or my mom's life has expired, I should say. Again, not a thing that I'm happy to say, but yeah, I'm gonna be here in the fucking thick of it. And I did mention the one time the kids in the neighborhood do like to play ding dong ditch, so if you guys ever hear banging on the videos, if it sounds like there's banging in the background, that's what that could potentially be. They don't just knock on the door, they try to kick that motherfucker in. Little do these brain dead idiots know that there's a fucking steel door there. You can't just kick and steal. You're not that strong. That is going to require some police enforcement, maybe even a door barricade. Teenagers in high school do not have the leg power of a police enforcement door barricade, but or a door sledgehammer, I should say. And the one time there was like fucking 3-4 of them, and I literally ran after them in my sandals because they thought shit was sweet. And I'm not that type of person to be played with, Playboy. But there was like 3-4 of them, and I end up running after them. And the whole time, I'm like, bro, there's like 3-4 of you. You guys are pussies. Like, how you going to go around the neighborhood fucking bothering your neighborhood, bothering people? There's literally 3-4 of you. There's one of me. I'm chasing after you in my sandals. And I'm literally so fast, I can keep up with them in my sandals. These are people in high school, mind you. They thought that they could, like, get away from me by fucking hiding in the bushes. And, like, again, they're so brain dead, they don't understand the concept of oxygen. I can hear you breathing, you dumbass. I know where you are. This isn't a video game. It's not a movie. Just because you're hiding, you don't have, like, a stealth ability. You haven't put on the fucking invisible cloak or anything. I can hear you. I have actual pretty good hearing as a music artist, so believe it or not, I know where you are before you even know I know. 31 seconds left in the first, but yeah, I chased them. There was like 3-4 of them. And I know they don't mean anything wrong behind it, but when you're trying to fucking kick in a steel door, it's a little annoying, man. And like I said, me, you know, when I was their age, I was dealing a lot with depression. I really had to figure out who I was going to be in my life. Wasn't going around bothering people in my neighborhood. If anything, these kids should be focused on, you know, trying to get a job, trying to take care of their neighborhood, you know, trying to make the environment better than the shit we got to deal with nowadays. Because I don't know, man, there's a lot of strange people out there, and there's, you know, obviously there's a lot of wrong people that they could mess with who could do a lot worse to them than me just fucking chasing them off and shit. But there's a lot worse people out there in the world that could do a lot worse harmful things to them, and that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. So, you know, their entire mindset should be maybe trying to fucking figure out what they want to do with the rest of their life, just like I had to when I was 15, 16. And the first period will end with the lead by the Buffalo Sabres 3-2 over the Montreal Canadiens. We got the birds chirping along the glass. But at least, you know, try to make your neighborhood better, man. Take care of people in your community. Try to make your communities a better place. If I had the rapper money, like if I had the ability to do so, I would definitely come back and try to like help people in my community and like show them, hey, you know, I'm sorry for the past 28 years people felt like I wasn't fucking doing anything, but here you go. Hopefully this makes up for it. Buy some fucking McDonald's cheeseburgers for the kids. Why not? Pass them out, you know. Do something nice for the community. Hundreds for all the residents. $100 bills for all the residents of the evil. Well, we are coming up to our first intermission here after that first period. So, I mean, if I had the rapper money, I would do it, ladies and gentlemen. I would definitely show love back to the community. It's not that I hate the community. I just hate some of the decisions that they make here, because it's not the best decisions, but it is decisions. So maybe one day, I've definitely been thinking of getting out though from neighbors and just trying to have somewhere out more in the country with like spacious land and a place to think and actually like get work done. First intermission is coming up for the Buffalo Sabres, ladies and gentlemen. What would we like to talk about for story time with Demonic for this first intermission? I guess for me, you know, it's been pretty much, it's felt like kind of a little bit of a lower energy kind of day for me. Maybe a little bit more of the depression is kicking through. So maybe, you know, for the first intermission today, we can talk about anybody out there dealing with depression, anybody suffering from, you know, mental health issues. If you do struggle with suicidal thoughts, and I have also been there myself. Okay, we are live again, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for the technical difficulties. Just had the fucking stream blank out on us right there. During Game 5, Spectrum, during Game 5 of Round 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs? You pulled this shit? My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Spectrum decided to black out on us right there. They must not like that we were trying to spread some positivity. So my apologies once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are just returning from some technical difficulties. We are back. We are live. Everything is good. TV works. Lights work. Camera on the phone works. That's all we can really ask for right now. Why is YouTube still giving me a problem here? Hold on, guys. Okay, we are back. We are live. Again, we tried to spread some positivity. YouTube didn't like that very much. YouTube did not like that very much at all. But we are back. We are live. So that's good. Let me turn off the lights again, fix the lighting situation here. Okay. Blue lights are back. The game is back on TNT as well. Everything is good. Technical difficulties have been resolved, hopefully, for the remainder of the stream. That shit has been happening a lot frequently, so I might have to reset the Spectrum before the next game, because that has definitely not been making me happy at all. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, from somebody who actually struggles with depression and suicidal thoughts myself, if you are seeking help or just need somebody to talk to, know that you are not alone. There are people out there that you can reach out to. I know it's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but there are people out there who are willing to help and would like to help. So, obviously, not the easiest thing to do, asking anybody for help. But with depression, myself, a little bit of story for me, since we're on the topic. Over the years, depression has really beat me down. I think one of the worst things is, I've actually not even cared about my appearance and shit like that anymore. Just because it feels like nobody is ever really going to fall in love with me or just want to be in an actual relationship in terms of a wife and a husband. So over the years, because of depression, I really started caring less about my appearance, and it led to bad teeth, just not the greatest teeth, I would say, today currently. One of the biggest problems for me when I do record music, when I make my music, and people really don't know this a lot, and this is one of the things that hurts too, when people say that I'm not working and they don't think I'm working as hard, because of my teeth and how much pain that I'm in every single day, it's forced me to actually change the way that I rap and pronounce a lot of words and talk in a lot of my songs. Sometimes I don't feel like I sound the way that I used to, just because of those little adjustments. It's really taken a toll. Every time when I try to make a song, I'm in pain. Every day, I'm in pain. There's nothing I can do about that. Again, growing up, I wanted to be a pro wrestler, so I kind of just figured, that's one of the things that kind of comes with the territory. I always knew I was going to be in pain and I was going to take some injuries, so the whole teeth thing really doesn't bother me too much. But because of depression, it has affected my appearance, I would say, a little bit, and just overall the mentality I'm trying to, make myself attractable to others. For me, at least, if I did have rapper money, if I did have the ability to put some money down on some new teeth, I would want to get vampire fangs. I know it's stupid. It's very stupid want, but it is a want. So I would definitely fix them up and I would get some vampire fangs. But for me, it definitely feels a lot like the Anakin transition into Darth Vader, where he kind of has to teach himself how to fight in a completely new style and adjust to the pain and fucking, just be more overwhelmed by all the things kind of holding him back than he would like. That's what it feels like right now when I try to make music. It really feels like a lot of the times I'm held back and I'm really restricted and I'm really limited with what I can do, which again isn't really my favorite or what I'm going for, but that's kind of just the way that it is right now. But in life we always have, there's surgery guys, there's doctors out there, there's ways that you can fix your teeth. People fix their appearance every single day. Not that I'm saying you have to make yourself, not that I'm saying you have to go through those kind of things to try to appeal to others or try to make yourself acceptable to others or anything like that. But for me, one day, hopefully, I can take away the pain that I live with every single day when I try to make music and I try to record and I'm trying to talk. Hopefully I can take away the pain that I live with every single day. If I do get a rapper paycheck, some rapper money in the bank account, I'm fixing up the teeth and I'm buying fucking vampire fangs. I don't care. I know it's a stupid want. It might look stupid. I fuck with gothic horror. I fuck with the vampires. I want some goddamn fangs, alright? Fuck it. We got the money. We might as well fucking enjoy life. It's the only one we're gonna get, right? Fuck it. Let's do it. I'm not gonna have the fucking fangs when I'm dead. I can't get them when I'm dead. It's not like I'm gonna go to heaven and be like, yeah, those vampire fangs I wanted, God, how about some of those? That's no. We got it now. If we can make it happen, we can make it happen. Let's do it. But, every day for me, it's really felt like a lot like I fucking have become Darth Vader, though, where it's just constantly trying to fight, more accustomed to that brand new style of things just aren't the way that they used to be. It's never going to be the way that it used to be. And like I said, for me, depression has definitely had made me not care about just my appearance, or I guess appeal to others in general. It is a bit unfortunate, but again, like I said, the way I look at it, I mean, anything is possible at any given time. So you can lose teeth and they can put teeth right back in you. It's not the worst. It's not the worst loss, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the worst loss. I think some of the vital organs you can't live without don't include teeth. So you're gonna be all right. You're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep marching, soldier. But yeah, that has been one of the hardest things for me currently, which I don't think a lot of people know about because I don't really have a lot of chance to talk about it all the time. But there have been a lot of days where it's like, man, you don't even feel like you want to fucking talk, or you don't even want to fucking write a song. Those days to me aren't really much of a challenge though, because I always want to fucking write and I always want to record. But it's just like I said, I wish I could definitely go back to a more former version where I felt like I sounded a bit more of like a younger version of me. Because now currently I just feel like I'm fucking in pain all the time. I'm always in pain because of my mouth and my teeth, and that has been one of the crucial adjustments so far. When I think about, my music, since we can talk about it during this intermission, when I worked at the Sabres Arena, there was a really nice girl there who I actually got to know really well, and she was really nice to me. We would always talk about music. When Benny the Butcher was there, she was the first person that came up to me because she knew I made music, and she was like, hey, Benny's here, and I'm like, I know, I've heard it. People are saying it, people are talking, they're talking here in Buffalo. But, one of the questions that she asked me is, what is one of the biggest differences from when I used to make music to where I'm at currently? And I would say, for me, the biggest difference that I see, at least for myself, when I made music originally, when I first started making music, I really wanted to show people how technical and how lyrical I actually was. So I was trying to make songs that were really fucking complex and just lyrical fucking, puzzles and masterpieces, and it's gotta be fucking the dictionary all on one page. And at the end of the day, like, it never really mattered. Like, it's cool to do that, and it's cool to show people that you can do that. But for me as an artist, I wanted my music to really represent and mean so much more to me as a person in my career than just, I'm technical and I say a lot of words. When I think about Eminem, guys, story time with Demonic, people would always ask me growing up, why is Eminem your favorite rapper? Why is he your favorite lyricist? Why is Eminem your favorite? And it wasn't because Eminem said the most fucking words. It wasn't because he rapped like a dictionary. It wasn't because he rapped fast. It wasn't because he could fucking do the chopper style that people love, like Tech 9. I said, man, the thing I love about Eminem is his story. No other rapper has a story like Eminem. So, for me, when I think about my music currently, the thing that I'm trying to create is tell people more of my story and focus on explaining more of my story in my songs, connecting everything to the entire theme of the album, the entire kind of reason why I'm making the album. I want the stories to actually connect to me and resonate more with me personally, than as opposed to just showing people that I can fucking be lyrical and technical and rap fast and shit like that. None of that ever mattered to me. I just wanted, show people my story now and fucking get my ideas out there and show people what I can create. When I think about Eminem, and people always ask me, why is he your favorite? I was never impressed by rapping fast and fucking rapping the most words on a song. That was never it for me. It was really just, Eminem has a story that nobody else has. He has a life that no other rapper has, and that's why his music is unique to him and original to Eminem, because nobody else is Eminem. Nobody else has Eminem's life, right? So that's what it's all about for me currently, is I'm trying to step away more from where I used to be, of just trying to show people, okay, lyrical, miracle, spiritual. Fucking, I just really want to connect more with people now, showing them my story and my thoughts, the entire reason why this song exists for this project, and trying to connect everything all together. It's become way more of a deep thought process for me than just let me fucking put the song out there and see what happens. But yeah, that was always my favorite thing about Eminem, was always his story. And I think that's always the thing that separated him from everybody else. And guys, when we want to talk about it too, when it comes to Eminem, I've always wanted to work with M, always wanted to get signed by Eminem. Maybe still could happen, maybe couldn't, who knows. I never, wanted it to be expected of me to get signed by M. When I was growing up, people always compared our styles and, always compared us to each other. So I thought that was always really cool and amazing, but I never tried to make it like this thing that I'm supposed to be handed, or I never wanted to make it a thing where I just fucking, expect this thing to happen in my life, like Eminem to sign me or something. I've actually reached a point in my life where I feel like, hey man, if this person dies without ever even knowing who I am, it could happen, but that's the way life goes sometimes. People always compared us, and I always just tried to create my music and show people my style and my ideas. Looks like we are back now from intermission as well. Turn up the volume a little bit here. But I never wanted, even with all my friends and family that have always said, man, maybe one day Eminem will sign you, I never wanted it to make it feel like this thing that I deserved that in my life. That's definitely not the thing that I was ever going for. I don't deserve anything like that. If anything, like I said, man, I just want to show people my music, and I just want to show them my ideas. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. There's times I put out shit and I don't like it, and it's a fucking learning process as an artist, There's times I'll put out shit, and if I don't like it, I'll be like, well, not doing that again. There's always next year, always next season, Buffalo. But I've really, tried to overcome a lot of that feeling where growing up I really wanted to get signed by Eminem, and I would still love to work with Eminem, I'm not saying that. But I never wanted it to make it feel like I deserved it or anything. Like I should be fucking handed this thing that other people are kind of chewing at each other for, or something like that. I feel like if anything, I just want to earn it. The Sabres automatically take it back into the Canadian zone, but the Canadians do have possession of the puck right now, past center ice. That is an offside called on Montreal. 19 minutes and 29 seconds remain in the second period of Game 5 between the Sabres and the Canadiens. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you guys another kind of funny story for me, since it has to do with depression and suicidal thoughts and everything, and just trying to make your dreams a reality. One day, I was really fucking thinking about, this just isn't gonna fucking work out anymore. It's just pointless to even try and shit. And I remember I went to sleep, and usually when I have dreams, they're all pretty much shit. It's all usually kind of bad dreams, or just the same dreams repeated over and over. But that night when I went to sleep, it was a bit different, because I actually had a dream where I just remember I was in this big ass skyscraper building, and it was some kind of office. It felt like I was at Warner Brothers or Sony Music in New York, a skyscraper in New York or something, sitting in some kind of office skyscraper. And they were just basically telling me yeah, today you're gonna meet Eminem, and you're gonna have a chance to meet and talk with Eminem. And I just remember the dream, seeing Eminem, and our paths crossed or whatever, and I just kind of told him everything that I wanted to do and everything that I wanted to kind of go for and accomplish with my dreams and my goals for myself as an artist and a creator. And I just remember him, shaking his head and looking at me okay, yeah, and only thing he said to me was, keep going, and I woke up and that was the dream. So got to, maybe if I never meet Eminem one day in real life, it happened in a dream, and I just remember telling him, you know, everything that I want to accomplish, everything I want to do for myself. And he was just like, yeah, you know, keep going. And that was it. So I feel like where I'm at right now, like I said, the important thing is to kind of just keep working on the things that I feel I should work on and share with others. Because keeping them to myself isn't really going to do any good. It's really not going to help anybody out there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 18 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second. The Canadiens do have control of the puck. This one stripped away by Dali. Now the Sabres do get a shot on goal. That one hit somebody. Sabres still on the ice. Feeling the hit on that one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Canadiens trying to hold this possession off from the Sabres. Greenway out there for Buffalo. He's been a lot of attention for the Canadiens recently. Canadiens really try to put eyes on him every time he steps out there on the ice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 17 minutes and 43 seconds left, with one goal by the Buffalo Sabres controlling the lead. I'm sorry, I don't really understand that 100 hours. What do you mean exactly with the 100 hours, my friend?
Contact, but you certainly can't afford to retaliate right there. Meantime, he was battling Kate Dooley, and Shane Knight, he's done a good job of blocking here.
Yeah, he's had some key blocks. This is back in the first period, then a big one here on Mellenstein, right between the hash marks.
Good save right there. Last time the Sabres tried to get it past Dobish. Even though the Montreal Canadiens are down, they are fighting for the goal back, ladies and gentlemen. Still trying to tie up the game as the Sabres lead with one. 3-2 in Buffalo for Game 5. Looks like this face-off going to get restarted here. A little bit of a change-up for Buffalo on the face-off.
Had a scrap in his first game.
Happy to have him in their playoff lineup for 12 consecutive games.
And it is the Sabres who win the face-off in the Canadian zone. Now a shot on net. That one gets a rebound sent back to Buffalo.
Norris slips it down. Dome continues on. That's Byram down deep in the corner. Got it away from Caulfield. They lost it. Matheson. Oh, turned back. That one hit a funky spot on the boards.
That one almost actually an own goal by Montreal. They were able to get it out of there just by the skin of their teeth. A really bad defensive possession here from Montreal as they're just trying to survive as the Buffalo Sabres keep taking whatever they feel like. As time ticking away, 17 minutes left in the second. The Sabres still have time on possession. They still control the puck in Montreal's zone. Little pass down there, down to the front. Couple shots down there for the Sabres. Couldn't get him down low. Sabres trying some greasy goals. Couldn't get anything. Yeah, unfortunately, not really able to understand the question. 100 hours. For me personally, in the music studio, I'm always working. I work every day in the music studio. Tuesdays is a day dedicated to just YouTube uploads and trying to make content here on YouTube. Oh my God, what a save. What a save from Dobish. Absolute showstopper right there.
They got Alex Tuck on the ice, a fresh body, while Benson was battling it down low.
Benson had a really nice look at it, ladies and gentlemen. And there you go, just a beautiful save as he held it on the dribble. Down low, tried to get a greasy one past Dobish, but just couldn't get it past that goaltender defender. But yeah, 100 hours for me is pretty casual weekend, honestly, buddy. Every day we're in the music studio, pretty much. I literally just put out my schedule online so people can see it when I am working and when I'm not. I do treat my life like I'm a pro wrestler, so I'm usually in the studio pretty late.
That's a tremendous save right there.
Thompson after it, Krebs on him. Another turnover here.
In terms of YouTube content, always working on videos, always trying to think of new ideas and things to upload to the channel.
Across the crane, misfired away from Timmins. Anderson has a beat on this. Timmins will get back in position. Anderson separated for the puck on the
Hopefully audio's still good, looks like it.
I like that Thompson is moving that puck.
Tage Thompson passing around the puck here for Buffalo. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the second.
Danced away from his own man, Duane.
Montreal seems to be fighting a bit here to start the second. It's been Buffalo with much better pressure.
Buffalo with 4 of the first 5 shots here since the period began nearly 5 minutes ago. That puck touched the netting, and we're getting stoppage in play.
And after the puck goes out of bounds, they decide to stop it. So this will be a face-off, I think, in the Montreal zone here.
Making a left pad save, but here down low, there's Benson. Works it down low, and Dobish gets himself square. He looks, watches, gets
Benson and Tuck are trying to work down low in front of the goalie.
elbow on that hard shot.
Also probably trying to take his vision off a lot of the plays.
That's what Buffalo's been able to do.
But so far, Buffalo's still leading with that one goal. That's deciding this game. Sitting at 3-2 between the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens.
He's been terrific since then.
Very unique with two young goaltenders.
It's actually a face-off here in the Buffalo zone.
Usually there's an experienced guy.
And Buffalo does win it,
Third goaltender.
which is a big face-off win for them. Not the highest face-off percentage in the series. But they do get a win there in their defensive zone. Now, Canadians decide to dump and chase around the boards. That's pretty much a wasted possession. That's kind of one of my biggest flaws as well with modern day hockey, ladies and gentlemen. I hate when they pull the goalie out of the net with minutes remaining in the game just to get an extra attacker on the ice. It's pretty much an automatic forfeit once I see an empty net. And also, the dump and chase strategy, not my favorite strategy at all. Almost feels like every time there's a dump and chase, it could be a wasted possession. Players actually, if you're going to be a forward or a winger, center, anything like that, in my opinion, you should be able to stick dribble and actually have a good enough stick handle to move the pass or move the puck past center ice. Canadians get a good look on that pass right there, and they just decide to throw it away, basically get a line change. Now the Sabres on the attack. Right back down the ice. Good shot right there. I believe for Norris, number 9 of the Buffalo Sabres. Suffered from the pad save right there of the Montreal Canadiens. And now Benson, ladies and gentlemen, taking it around the boards for Buffalo. Sabres still on the attack. Good little pass to the front behind the net. Quinn gets a one-timer, almost at the red dot. Montreal doing everything they can to hold off this offense from the Sabres. Good defense right there, just couldn't clear it. On the clear attempt, got blocked by the Sabres, and now the Canadiens on the attack past center ice.
Some snow as he stopped. Samuelson with a hit on Dobson. And Helenius to grab it.
Canadians right now skating from behind, still down 1 goal. It is 3-2 in Game 5 for the Sabres and the Canadiens in Buffalo, New York.
Settles for a wrist shot that goes well wide.
You can see why.
Wrist shot went wide for Buffalo. Now the Canadiens dump and chase. Ends up to the toe drag. Just couldn't get a good look on the rebound. Canadians trying to get another look at it. Good toe drag on that last attempt from the Canadiens. Just not enough to get past Luukkonen. And that is an icing call on the Buffalo Sabres. Thank you so much again, ladies and gentlemen, Ghosts and Goblins, Witches and Wizards, Vampires and Werewolves, checking out the channel, spending some time with me tonight to watch Game 5 between the Sabres and the Canadiens. They are literally about 6-7 minutes right down the street from me, South Park. Right at the arena. I know they are packed outside, canal side, block parties everywhere. It's got to be a riot down South Park right now. So I know the fans are definitely happy, and Canadiens score right back, right off of that face-off when we came back, so the Canadiens just tied it up. Buffalo Sabres fans aren't happy about it, but that is the story right now. The Canadiens tied up the game 3-3, and it is 17 again for the Canadiens with that A on his jersey. 17 putting in a lot of work right here for Montreal. Good play right there. I believe it's 17 Anderson for the Canadiens. Yes, Anderson, 17 for the Montreal Canadiens. Credited for that last goal. And it is 11:59 remaining in the second period for Game 5, as we were just talking about all the riots at Canal Side, down South Park, all the block parties in Buffalo. Block parties got a little bit quiet with that last goal. Montreal Canadiens put one on the board, end up tying up this Game 5. 3-3 between the Sabres and the Canadiens right now in period 2. And the series itself for the best of 7 is tied with 2-2. Both teams 2 wins in the series, best of 7. Now the Canadiens pressure the Sabres again, back on the attack, end up with the puck in their defensive zone here, just off of their most recent goal. And now Sabres really struggling defensively to take this one away from the Canadiens, who get a good sneak at it right there. Luukkonen able to have the awareness to avoid any dangerous situations with that. And now Canadiens right back on the rush. Isn't there a special food in Montreal or Quebec called like a Dirty Diane? It's like a steak or something, or like a steak Diane, some shit like that. I know poutine. I do like poutine, but I think they also are known for like some kind of steak Diane, Dirty Diane. I might be thinking of the Michael Jackson song Dirty Diana, but I'm pretty sure Quebec has food that they're pretty much known for as well. Now the Canadiens from the red dot, shot on the net. That one stopped by Luukkonen. Good save right there from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. UPL for the Buffalo Sabres. Trying to really be a showstopper in this one, as he has let a couple go, but both teams really sitting evenly at goals right now. So you can't be too mad at Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen when the Montreal Canadiens have also let 3 in the net as well. Defense just has to be a lot better, but like I've said, ladies and gentlemen, a shootout so far in this game between the Sabres and the Canadiens, where it's really just felt like anything you can do, I can do better. 9 minutes and 43 left in the second. That's my bad. If it was 2 minutes, we would be really close to that next intermission. But still 9 minutes left. A lot of hockey left to be played here, as a next goal can decide what team takes the lead here moving forward. It is a face-off in the Buffalo zone. Puck is dropped. Buffalo wins it. Now Buffalo fighting with it behind the net. Good shot right there from number 9 on the Sabres. Canadiens around the blue line, passing it around now. And that goes off the wall and all the way down back. Sabres trying to turn the tides. Now it's automatically going right back to the Canadiens, who had a 2-on-1 right there. Not a good pass attempt, though. No accuracy on that last pass. So there is no goal for the Canadiens. And now the Sabres just trying to get this one out of the danger zone. Right now, defense trying to clear it. Puck sent around the board. Suzuki gets there first for Montreal. And now Samuelson trying to fight it back for Buffalo. That's a shot. Little above the red dot for Montreal. 76. Damn near had it. But Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen right there doing his job.
Summer styles this good make my family look like we have everything under control.
Kohl's outfits make it all look easy. Find styles your family will live in. Plus, save across the store at Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
Last game had to switch it up a little bit. Brought out the yellow hoodie, put on the green lights, switched up the feng shui, and it seemed to work. It seemed to break the curse, at least for the time being. Tonight we're back here in Game 5, Buffalo, New York. And it has been a fucking stalemate, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams, they don't want to let the other have any time to shine. Both teams don't want the other one getting too comfortable over the next 20 minutes, maybe an hour or so. Right now, all tied up 3-3, the Sabres and the Canadiens.
Sonobello helped me take back my life.
At Sonobello,
No team wants to give the other the edge, and that is to be actually expected here when the next winner of the series could move on to that Eastern Conference Championship and be one step closer to the Stanley Cup Final. But right now, you got to make it past round 2.
everyone else. Now it's your turn. Call for your free personalized consultation.
Sabres still trying to find a way defensively to hold back the Montreal Canadiens. We have an interview now, the lovely Jackie Redmond, formerly, actually still with the WWE. I just seen her recently with WWE on Backlash. She was the pre-show commentary with Big E and everyone. But there are the Buffalo Sabres. Lindy Ruff, Jackie Redmond, the lovely Jackie Redmond. As I said, I thought she actually was not working for WWE currently, because I've been seeing her hauling ass on the road. The absolute travel schedule is unreal, and it has to be kind of insane when you're working for the WWE and the NHL at the same time. All these different cities, all this different travel. Gotta give credit to Jackie Redmond, because I know definitely coming after WrestleMania season, that calendar has to be absolutely filled. So a lot of credit right there for Jackie Redmond. She has been an absolute workhorse for the WWE and the NHL. Like I said, recently watched Backlash, and she was on that pre-show commentary with Big E. I would actually like to get Big E on the actual commentary team one day. I feel like he's definitely entertaining enough. My entire problem with Backlash, and a lot of the thing that I just disliked a lot of, the ending to the finish of the Roman Reigns and the Jacob Fatu match just felt like way too similar to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Like I said, guys, they just seem to be repeating a lot of their same ideas, and a lot of stuff that I've honestly seen previously from the years before. It's nothing brand new to me other than like a new coat of paint. But that was like my biggest flaw with Backlash this year. I would just say, you know, I've just seen creatively them doing so many things that they've already done, and they just think, you know, they can kind of do it again. Maybe nobody will notice. But the ending to Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu for Backlash was actually really coincidentally, strangely enough, the same as Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. I mean, Cody Rhodes retained the title over Randy Orton. Roman Reigns retained the title over Jacob Fatu. What happens at the end of the match? They basically assault their opponent to the point of an injury, or, you know, take them off of TV time, whatever. It's the same shit for me, guys. Like I said, I wasn't too impressed with the finish after that. I don't know how a lot of people didn't pick that up. And that is a showstopper save right there by Luukkonen. 7 minutes, 42 seconds left. Luukkonen absolutely steals one off the stick of the Canadiens. It was 45 with the pass to the front of the net. Carrier, I think, had a look at it and just absolutely denied by the brick wall for the Buffalo Sabres. Good save right there. A good save right there for the Buffalo Sabres. Ladies and gentlemen, try to fix our camera angle a little bit. There we go.
These are luxuries you don't have to wait for. This is Buick now. Buick. Exceptional.
I think during the next intermission, I might discuss a little bit of my YouTube origins with you guys. A little bit of the YouTube origin story. Why not? Why not? The Buffalo Sabres are getting ready to celebrate down here in South Buffalo, and of course downtown. The entire city of Buffalo have to be in the corner for the Sabres during this entire second round matchup if they want to see the Sabres survive another day and extend it to the next round. Carolina Hurricanes still waiting. I know the Western Conference about to end soon. I think Vegas and Anaheim might be approaching a Game 7. If I'm not incorrect on that. Or maybe it's Vegas leading by 1. I think it's Anaheim trying to force a Game 7 right now. So we're actually going into Game 6 tonight after this.
And appreciation.
Like I said, sometimes I don't check out too much of the Western Conference stuff. When I do live here on the East Coast, I try to pay a lot of attention to Eastern Conference teams, especially my hometown teams, Buffalo Sabres, Buffalo Bills. But the Vegas Golden Knights and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, two of my favorite teams over there on the Western Conference. And they have been playing a hell of a series against each other. Excellent hockey over there on the West Coast between the Golden Knights and the Ducks, who are going to continue their series. Most likely not even before this game will end. They'll probably get into this just before the end of this one. So I do know Vegas and Anaheim playing later tonight for Game 6.
Face-off win for Montreal. Hudson.
Face-off win for Montreal in the Buffalo zone. And this one is going all over the place for the Canadiens, just not anywhere they'd like it to go, including the back of the net. Now, Anderson takes another shot from all the way above the red dot. This goes back to center ice, and now the Canadiens control it again. Canadiens control it again. Luukkonen's been good. Luukkonen's been good. Like I said, I really have to give a lot more flack to the defense for both of these teams. Both goalies have been upset with the 3 goals, but you got to look at your defense at that point. Like, what the hell, guys? Can we start fucking hitting people when they are on the attack here with the puck? Really, what I would like to say, too, though, I've seen some really good skating out of a lot of the shooters from the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. They definitely have some danglers and some dekers. Putting on the fucking Pavel Datsyuk dribbles. Because sometimes it has been one-on-one, and the only thing that has been winning the one-on-one is that one move to kind of offset the goalie and offset the defender. It is going to be a penalty on Montreal for 2 minutes high sticking. So the Buffalo Sabres, ladies and gentlemen, are awarded with a power play opportunity here late in the second.
Look on the right side of your screen as Doan's coming through, and we're talking about Aaron's stick.
And that is a high stick, goes right above the head into the face mask. That penalty is called on Montreal. Buffalo on the power play now for 2 minutes. Montreal sends out their penalty killer line. Face off here in the Montreal zone.
They're at 15% in the playoffs, but they are 5%.
Buffalo lost it, but it is killed off by the Canadiens, who send it all the way back down the ice. No icing called. Penalty killers doing their job, taking time off the power play. Now, Buffalo trying to take it back from center ice. Around the boards now with the pass for the Sabres. Looks like we got Duane out there as well as Duane. Thompson, 72 right now, standing at the red dot. And again, the Montreal Canadiens kill it off. Taking time off the Buffalo power play, which only has a minute and 20 left to actually make something happen late here in the second with 6:20 left in the second period now. Pass went down low to the front of the net. Canadiens defended it. Now Tage Thompson keeping it on his stick. The Sabres trying to pass it around here. Looking for a good view on the net. Thompson with the juggle. Back to the pass. Dahlin and Thompson playing catch with each other. This pass ends up going backdoor. Can't make anything happen on that for the Sabres. Now Buffalo ends up with it back at the blue line. Down low, Benson, who's been an absolute terrifier for any team he's gone up against here. Good one-timer there from Thompson. That one just can't find anything. Can't get the goal off of the last attempts from the Buffalo Sabres. Dahlin now takes control of it with 10 seconds left on the Buffalo Sabres power play. And now it is 5 minutes remaining in the second. The Sabres and the Canadiens all tied, 3 goals each. Power play killed off right there by Montreal. No goals for the Sabres on that last power play opportunity. Penalty killers earning their paycheck for Montreal tonight. Now, big shot on Zucker. Gets the puck back on his stick. Puts a shot on net. That one is denied. The boys chirping each other a bit after that save. But nothing too serious. Nobody dropping the gloves.
For the Sabres on the power play off Benson's skate and wide. Close call, still tied.
We're all still tied up, ladies and gentlemen, in the second period. And only a few more minutes remain just before we get to our second intermission. Thank you so much again for hanging out with me tonight, spending some time to check out the channel. Hopefully, if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, we're going to be doing it some more in the future on my channel here. So, if it's not the greatest quality, my apologies. We did have technical difficulties earlier. I'm going to have to reset this damn router and this modem before the next game because the technical difficulties have definitely been an issue recently. So my apologies again for the technical difficulties earlier. But we are still live. We're still streaming. So we're all still good in my book.
Forget the war money. Direct to me.com. They're on fire. More MLB games than ever. Welcome to the big league. How old are you?
Every day, Michelin innovates to move the world forward on the road and far beyond. Michelin, motion for life.
Best time of the year. There's nothing better than any team is capable of any given night. Must see TV. Yes, no threats, no doubt. Because anything will decide through playoff hockey.
Shop the largest selection of Stanley Cup playoffs apparel at NHL Shop. Take advantage of today's special offer on your favorite teams and brands only at NHLShop.com. 4:40 left here in the second. All time.
I am back from the bathroom break, ladies and gentlemen. Face-off won by Buffalo. As we control it right now, time of possession. Buffalo on the attack. Sabres send it behind the net. Montreal in their defensive zone.
This line has been so good for Buffalo. They're connected.
Good line out there for Buffalo right now. Commentary team at the Sabres arena making a note of it.
They become options for each other. No play. They're put it behind the goal line, going to work.
just behind the goalie start getting to work on the pass. And now the Sabres send it right back down the ice. That might be an icing. Nope. Actually hit the boards. So that is going to be included as a shot on net. And now a shot on net. It is scored by the Canadiens, who rush right back down the ice. And now the Montreal Canadiens have the leading goal in this game 5. Luukkonen was just trying to freeze up that post, and he just couldn't get enough of his body on the biscuit. I think they are crediting number 71 for that last goal for the Canadiens. Shot on net, ended up right past Luukkonen, tried to save it, but got right past him. And then the Canadiens put it right past the goalie line. So it is now the Canadiens with 1 goal advantage in this game, 4-3 over the Buffalo Sabres. The Montreal Canadiens coming to play in enemy territory.
First up the playoffs for Jake Evans.
The Buffalo Sabres fight to get it back at center.
For the first time in the hockey game. It comes here late in period 2.
Commentary was just saying that was our best line out there too for the Sabres.
Buffalo now looking to respond.
Who just let one go for us right there defensively, y'all boys. So I don't know what game the commentary team is watching, but we're gonna need to pick it up on defense. 72, Thompson out there for the Sabres right now. Montreal control it down low in the Buffalo zone. Now back up to the blue line, passing it around the Canadiens. Trying to get a clear sight, trying to get some eyes right now on a goal again. And it sounds like right here it's going to be a penalty on the Buffalo Sabres. What could be a penalty on Tage Thompson as well. It is a penalty on Tage Thompson, 2 minutes for cross-checking. The Buffalo Sabres sent to the penalty box. Tage Thompson gets 2 minutes for cross-checking. So now, the Montreal Canadiens, after just scoring the last goal, they get handed an opportunity here on the power play. Buffalo Sabres really need to play defense, and they need to play it now. Penalty killers have to go to work. Please earn the paycheck tonight, boys. We're going to need to see it with Tage sitting in the penalty box for the next 2 minutes. And we got 2 minutes 35 left in the second.
Montreal to the power play. They went 1 for 7 in game 4.
Montreal takes a shot and they get the goal immediately. They get the goal immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, where's the Buffalo Sabres defense? Where's the Buffalo Sabres defense tonight? Are they sleeping every faceoff down in their zone? Like, in their defensive zone, do the Buffalo Sabres even want to attempt to play defense tonight? I don't know. We're going to have to figure that one out as the game continues. But, yeah, I've seen goals tonight where the Canadiens have literally got it back immediately, and now the Canadiens are just scoring goals back-to-back off of fucking power plays. Tage takes the 2 minutes for cross-checking. Canadiens now lead by 2 goals. Sabres got to slow it down. Sabres really got to focus up here, ladies and gentlemen, because it is not a beautiful sight out there on the ice in downtown Buffalo, right across from Canalside right now. Sabres fans definitely feeling the air taken out of the building. Just a lot of energy right now removed after that last power play goal from the Canadiens. 2 minutes exactly left in the second period now. And it is the Montreal Canadiens who lead currently with 2 goals over the Buffalo Sabres. It is 5-3. Canadiens over the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo, New York for Game 5. Now the Sabres not only have to continue worrying about playing defense, but they also are now working from that comeback train.
Suzuki's so smart, right? He looks for the play, surveys his
And the
options,
Sabres
nothing
have
else
been
behind
really
the net.
consistent so far in this
Couldn't
game.
agree with you more.
Really
Just
good
put
first
to an open
period.
space.
But the second period defensively for the Sabres has really been a weakness. Again, that kryptonite for Buffalo, their defense just allowing too many goals on way too many situations when you need to protect the net.
Served around towards Tuck.
Alex Tuck here passes it back to the blue line for Buffalo. Norris takes the shot. Can't get it past the goaltender defender.
We'll just bang it down the ice and got the angle right.
And shot on net. Sabres get it back in their defensive zone. 45 seconds left in the second period, ladies and gentlemen.
Red line and in.
That shot sent around the boards for the Sabres. Big hit from the Canadiens. Laying down the smackdown in Buffalo. A little bit of a trip up right there. I would call a penalty on that, but nothing called yet.
Both trying to get to it. It's Newhook.
Sabres gets tripped up, and now the puck taken away from Buffalo. Montreal in the Sabres defensive zone. Another good shot attempt. Just can't find the back of the net. And now 10 seconds left in the second period, ladies and gentlemen. It is 5-3. The Canadiens 5 goals to the Sabres 3. 2-goal difference. Montreal over Buffalo. So that will be the end of the second period, ladies and gentlemen.
Big intermission here for the Sabres as they try
We are
to
coming
regroup.
to our last intermission, what could be the last intermission,
Strikes from the Canadiens as they have the 2-goal lead.
as we approach the third period. So, with intermission coming up, as always, we will do more story time with Demonic. I feel like this one would be good to do the origin story here on YouTube, since people don't really acknowledge me that I've been doing this since day one type shit. But basically, ladies and gentlemen, I would say, funny story, when I was a kid back in elementary school, I used to have a really cool art teacher. Her name was Miss Bomber. Now, one of the things that I cannot do, I cannot draw. I would love to be able to draw. I can't fucking draw a stick figure. If I tried to draw a stick figure, that shit wouldn't even look like a stick figure. So I'm really not the best at drawing. I love being able to create dioramas and little miniature sets, like just little towns like the one you see from like Beetlejuice, little dioramas and little like miniature pieces. I'm into stuff like that because I've always wanted to do like stop motion movies and stop motion filmmaking as well. So yeah, I'm definitely into like that kind of art stuff. I remember one time they actually entered me in a competition because the objective for the class, we out of paper mache or just like that cardboard scrap paper. It was like that arts and crafts paper that you could get at like any art store or whatever, Office Max. In art class the one day, the objective was basically just create the face of any animal that you wanted in the class. And because I like Batman, because I'm such a fan of Batman, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to make a bat's face. So I made the face of a bat out of everything that I was given, and they liked it enough to enter it into an arts and crafts competition here in Buffalo. That was the one time they actually kind of gave me any credit for any kind of artistic thing that I did. But I don't know how to draw. I can't fucking draw a stick figure to save my life. When it comes to like artistic stuff, I really like being able to do things with dioramas and miniature pieces, anything that I can use for like stop motion filmmaking, stuff like that. But my art teacher, Miss Bomber, she was really cool because, you know, she knew that I liked stuff and she knew that I couldn't draw it. So she was always kind of like really cool with me. She would always like pass drawings to me of like Batman or Goku because she could actually really draw the shit. But the cool thing about her was after class, so like after school, she would go home and her favorite video game series was Jak and Dexter. So with the Jak and Dexter series, she would take blank VCR tapes, she would stick them in her VCR, and she would record her gameplays. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is before YouTube had ever even existed. This is before YouTube was really even a big thing, and anybody was streaming or fucking trying to be video game streamers or trying to do that thing now with Twitch and YouTube. She was ahead of her time. She was doing this before anybody else. So she would basically record her gameplays on a VCR tape, bring the footage back to class, show us in class her gameplay on the fucking VCR, and she would stop at certain animations or just freeze frame certain stuff, and we would draw stuff from the game. So I really remember that was like the first time where I was like, damn, like how am I going to be able to show people my gameplay? Like how am I going to be able to show my videos to an entire audience of people and everything like that? Because I didn't, VCR was still a thing, but like DVDs and Blu-rays, I think were just starting to kind of get popular. But DVDs were especially more popular than VCRs. So for me, it was like, well, I can't fucking record the gameplay on a VCR and expect, a million people to come across it one day. I basically, after I knew that information, that she could basically record her gameplays in that format, where it's essentially, just taking a capture card, you're just using the VCR to record your gameplay. But she was essentially just using a capture card to record her gameplay and show it to the class. This is before anybody had even owned big top of the line or expensive capture cards. When I first started on YouTube, guys, a big inspiration for me was James Rolfe, angry video game nerd, who at the time was the angry Nintendo nerd. He didn't become the angry video game nerd until years later. But his videos were a really big inspiration for me, and I knew he loved things like The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob or just Monster Vision with Joe Bob. So I had always grown up watching stuff like that, and I really wanted to incorporate that kind of style of video into like a lot of my stuff. So James Rolfe and AVGN Cinemassacre, they're a really big inspiration behind what I do and the type of stuff that I want to create one day. If you look at my highly recommended, they're at the top for a reason. When I started here on YouTube, that was like the first thing that I was watching. So really, it went from watching my art teacher show gameplay of her VCR footage to the class just so we could draw stuff, to now, okay, I'm starting to watch things like James, and I want to kind of like do that whole thing with like the Cinemassacre and the way that he would review stuff, but do it in like a comedy way and make the videos fun for everybody. But then when it came to like gaming, because I was like, oh, well, we'll just upload gaming and stuff to the channel. This is back in 2009 when this channel did not exist. Maybe I'll even show you some of the original channels that I had previously before this one. But in 2009, again, when it was like, how do I show people this stuff, or how do I even get the ability to fucking capture my gameplay footage or anything, you basically had to have a capture card. And I learned that from watching Optic Gaming, specifically Nadeshot and Scumpy. So when I was growing up and I came here to YouTube, again, guys, nobody was trying to be professional gamers. Nobody was trying to be competitive gamers. If you were uploading content to YouTube, it was kind of unique and you were kind of rare in a sense because a lot of people weren't really doing the same thing as you. To do that type of thing, to upload gameplay and to show anybody your gameplays back in the day, you had to own a capture card. It was the only way, and they were not that great back in the day. They were not as good as they are now. I mean, literally PS5s and Xboxes have them fucking built in. But they were not as good as they were when I first started YouTubing. And you really, to get content out there, and this is what me and my friend used to think. Me and my friend Noah that always wanted to play competitively for Optic and Team Envious. We didn't get to travel as much to events or anything, and we didn't compete so much at like local LANs or anything because we didn't just have the money to travel. We used to think, the one thing that like the way that we would get noticed by Optic or anything, we're going to be good at creating content. We're actually going to be good and entertaining at uploading videos. And obviously that's like a really big part of Optic Gaming. So we used to think, fucking if we just upload great content like Scumpy and Nadeshot, Optic is going to ask us to play for them. Like that's how it works. One day we're just going to be chilling on the fucking PlayStation Network or fucking Xbox, and you're going to get the message from Hex, you want to join Optic? I don't think that's how we get the golden ticket, boys, but that's how we used to think back in the day. Again, when we were just teenagers and trying to figure life out and everything. 2009, 2010, these are dark times for YouTube. but I would always watch Nate Shot and Scumpy, and I would see how they would use their capture card, and they would edit their videos in an entertaining way. And I was like, okay, I kind of need to be able, if I want to make it to Optic, I need to be able to make entertaining content, so that way Optic will be like, hey, you know, you want to be a part of the organization, you want to come play for us, you want to join us. Used to think that's how it was back in the day. Again, we were never really major forces. We were never, I guess you could say, making appearances consistently, showing up to events, trying to fucking introduce ourselves to the players and fucking get known into like this little clique and this little group of like the players online where they're just like buddy and friends with each other. We didn't have any of that. We just thought the way to get actually noticed was just try to create the best content that we could. And again, we didn't have any money. So that is a big reason why I wasn't uploading a lot of videos back in the day until I could really afford a capture card or anything like a laptop, anything like that. Before I could even show people my videos, we were playing every single day, every single night from the time we got out of school, practically like all night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. type shit. Just trying to fucking, you know, be good enough to get accepted into a team or at least be called up to a team. And eventually 2016 comes around. Call of Duty just isn't the same game for me anymore. Last time I played competitively or even enjoyed Call of Duty was Ghost. Ironically enough, Eminem made the theme song for that. And now Eminem is doing the theme song, the intro for Monday Night Raw here in 2026. So it's crazy how these things in my life happen and find a way of finding me in all the darkness and all the shambles. But, you know, we used to think if we can at least just put out creative content, Optic will, you know, want to work with us maybe. And again, never really had the ability to do that until later on. And I feel like when I finally did start uploading content, like 2016, when I think about that year, I wasn't playing Call of Duty competitively anymore. So, you know, me and my friend Noah, we weren't really associated with each other as much as we did before, which kind of hurt the friendship. And, you know, still one of my favorite teammates, if not the best teammate I've ever played with to this day for Call of Duty. But not playing with each other much anymore hurt. You know, he wanted to do things with PC gaming and Fortnite and Battle Royale, which is great. If that's what you enjoy, if that's what you like, you know, good on you. Go and do that for yourself. But me, I tried to get really apart from all of that. I don't really enjoy Battle Royale or Fortnite or anything like that. So he went more to PC gaming and playing Battle Royale stuff, and I kind of just wanted to focus more on like story games and figuring out more creative games here for the channel that I can kind of just show people that I enjoy. I mean, I've always loved horror games like Silent Hill and Resident Evil. Fallout is my favorite game franchise. So having the ability to actually explore a lot more of that content and actually share that with people is really cool. I hate Rockstar. Rockstar Games is the worst developer in my opinion. Way too overrated. Don't like Rockstar at all. Like I said, I love Fallout. That's my favorite video game franchise. But my friend, you know, after the competitive Call of Duty, he wanted to go more to PC gaming and Battle Royale, and I just wasn't into that. Again, I don't really have money to put into like PC gaming desktops or fucking invest in this part and fucking we're going to build our own computer and shit. My brother is into a lot of that. My brother actually works for, you know, Bethesda. He's done some work for Bethesda and in the past, so he actually is trying to get a real career and a real development situation here, a real development role with Bethesda. That's my older brother Tom. He was building, you know, his own computers when fucking Steve Jobs was just realizing what a computer was. No, but essentially around that same era. My brother was born in 85, so I mean, he's always been building his own PCs and focused on his own game development and his dreams as well. So I'm really happy that he gets the chance to work with Bethesda and teams like id Software. That's really great to see that working out for him because he's always been that type of person. Anytime I have a problem with my PC, I gotta immediately ask him because I don't fucking know what could even be done to fix such a thing in 2026. But you know, my friend Noah, he went into the competitive gaming with Fortnite and Battle Royale, and I that's just not my style. I really like games like Fallout and the RPG open world games, Silent Hill, Resident Evil. Again, some of my favorites. Getting able to play like the Batman Arkham series and share that on the channel, the Spider-Man stuff has been really great. It just feels like, unfortunately, on my channel, gaming stuff isn't what people kind of come here to watch. It's not really associated with the gaming channel, even though some of the wrestling stuff is popular when I try to play WWE 2K. But you know, it might get popular with some people out there, but it's not my favorite games. I do not like the WWE 2K series. I said it earlier, guys. They're really just getting too obvious with their greed at this point. They're making 4 different versions of the same game, just throwing some new cover art, charging you $150 for that, and you get a fucking Joe Henry DLC with a WrestleMania 42 pack. Big whoop-de-fucking-do. Apparently that's worth $150 in 2026. And even the editions of the game themselves, like even the Monday Night War edition and the Attitude Era edition, they're missing very specific key characters and wrestlers from that era. Like they're not everybody is included in the package is what I'm trying to say. They're actually missing people that you would still have to go into community creations and still download and still have to put in the effort of having the roster that you actually want. I've heard a lot too. A lot of the main roster is locked behind like a battle pass or some kind of like premium pass that you have to pay for. Like you have to have certain characters unlocked, and it's becoming a lot like the 2K basketball games where you're essentially putting all of your points and all your money into your character's statistics or upgrading your character just so you can have one overpowered character to unlock the rest of the roster or whatever else. Like I said, it's a bit unfortunate that video games don't really seem to be the thing that drives people here to the channel. Wrestling might be popular, the video game series here on the channel, but WWE 2K, they gotta lose the rights to make the games here. I really wish WWE would sell the rights to another developer because I am sick of WWE 2K games. I really do not enjoy them. I do know some of them are still developed in hand with Ukes, which is interesting because Ukes always made good wrestling games and good SmackDown versus Raw games. But it just seems like recently the 2K series is just not, it has not done it for me. And when I do try to do stuff creatively, again, there's a lot of restrictions and there's a lot of things in the game that I have to deal with where it's like I can't even do the thing that I'm actually trying to do because the fucking game is made and developed a way to where we have no freedom creatively to make it fun and to make things the way we want to make them. I really miss when wrestling games felt a lot more like an arcade instead of a simulation. WWE 2K, if you're listening out there for the future of wrestling games, stop making them like a simulation and please bring them back to the days of the arcade because those are the wrestling games that I know and love. And again, I'm not willing to pay $80 for a single version of the just a standard original version of the game that's not going to have any bells and whistles with it. The $80 is not sitting right for me when we start talking about WWE 2K games. So not interested on spending money on the things that I'm not going to enjoy. And I've always been the type of person, guys, I had to grow up. I was just able to get games maybe if I was lucky for like birthday or Christmas. The only way I could ever even play games was the games that I really wanted to try and like actually have some time to experience. I would have to go to Blockbuster and rent that shit for like 2 or 3 days. Because again, for my birthday and Christmas, I was only allowed to have, you know, a certain amount of presents and, you know, 5-7 video games wasn't really on the fucking list. When I walked into a store, if there was like 2 games that I really wanted, and I would, you know, have to decide between the 2, I could only get one. I was not getting both of them. So for me, had to grow up a lot, you know, playing games from Blockbuster and beating them over the weekend or just in a certain amount of days. We are back here for the third period in Buffalo, New York, ladies and gentlemen. So for me, I'm okay with not really being able to play a lot of the games out there right now because that's never really how it was for me growing up. I never really had the ability to play the games that I wanted. It was always, you get to wait until your birthday, you get to wait until Christmas, and maybe, if you're lucky, you get to unwrap that present and you get to see something that you wanted. For me, the $80 on video games is just way too overpriced, and it's way too much out of my budget. That is the standard price for a video game. I don't care what anybody says. $65, $70. The standard price for a normal video game in 2026 is about $80. We are about $20 away from $100. I don't know how many people realize that, but that in itself is a problem. I am not paying no $100 for a video game that is locked behind battle passes and DLCs where you gotta pay. You're gonna buy the game for $80 and then they're gonna be like, okay, that's half the game, and then we're gonna give you the DLC with the rest of the game for another $80 later on, and it's just all hoopla. It's all a bunch of hoopla, a bunch of minutia.
Dobish had the answer. Dobish, solid since giving up that third goal against him.
But I really have had to take a step back from the gaming content. Again, I couldn't really care. It is unfortunate because I like being able to share that content here on the channel. But I can't afford it, and it just doesn't really seem like it's bringing in the audience. So, like I said, guys, my birthday last year, I played Doom Dark Ages. That entire series still has no views. I don't think anybody out there has actually watched that series on my channel. Last year for my birthday, I bought a game that I wanted and played it here on the channel, and nobody watched it. So that's what I mean. I don't really think people are coming here for the video game content, which sucks because it's like if I kind of spend that money on a video game that I kind of expect to grow the channel a little bit and it doesn't, nobody really watches it. I kind of just use that money now when I could have used that money for something else, I feel like. At least that's how it is for me right now. I'm not trying to make it sound that way, but it's true. I mean, I did enjoy Doom Dark Ages, and I really wanted to play that. And that's one of the things I really try to do now with video games. I only get the ones I'm really interested in, and that's how it's kind of always been. But with Doom the Dark Ages, I played that on my birthday and still has absolutely no views. And I played it on one of the hardest difficulties. I mean, I was really doing good, and yeah, nobody watched it. And that was my birthday from last year. So bought a game that I wanted, bought a game I wanted to play, and kind of felt like, damn, could have probably used that money for something else here on the channel or something, but that's kind of the way it is. That's why I've made a post, and I don't know if any people see my community post because they don't really get any interaction right now on YouTube. But I do make posts, and I have said, before, if anybody wants me to actually, play something, you can donate. You can actually donate, and I'll play it. I'll definitely try to beat it. I'll do movie requests, video game requests, but it all has to be done through a donation because, again, I really can't afford it right now. If I'm going to spend money on something, it's got to be something that's actually going to be useful for me for the time. And that's another thing I think people avoid a lot on YouTube is like going over to the playlist and checking out the playlist section, which is really important on a lot of YouTube channels. Please, if you're watching this, always check out any channel, any content creator you go to. Please look at their playlist because that tells you how active they are. That tells you what kind of content they're producing. That really tells you a lot about their channel other than just seeing where they're currently at with their content creation. But really, guys, if anybody out there, any YouTube channel you go to, any content creator you subscribe to or fuck with, you should really take some time to go look at their channel playlist because playlists are so important. It tells you everything you need to know really about that channel, what that person is uploading, all of the current content that they're creating. Playlists are far more underrated, I think, than people actually take into consideration. I have so many playlists on my channel that are really good, really creative. hundreds of videos added to them, and I think people kind of like overlook that a lot of the time. It just goes past over people's head when they just see, you know, the stuff that you can see as soon as you go to their channel. It's right there in front of your face. But really take the time to look at some of the playlists. Because again, I've done so many series and so many things that have not received any attention and not done as great as I had hoped for. But really, when you think a lot about YouTube, at least for myself, YouTube should always be a place where, as at least a content creator, you come here, you try to share ideas, and maybe, you know, it's bad ideas, or maybe they're ideas that you just think are terrible or not really perfect, but you still want to share them with your channel and with your community, because maybe one day you can watch it all over again and get an entirely different feeling from it. I've always looked at YouTube maybe as a little bit of a time capsule, as opposed to a way of getting famous or, you know, getting recognized. YouTube, hopefully for me, one day will be, man, you know, we're able to sit down and watch all the things that were created one day, or we're proud of what we created. I really like to look at YouTube more as a time capsule than this social media platform a lot of people just use nowadays to kind of become a internet personality. Montreal Canadiens just got another goal, ladies and gentlemen. They are piling it on here in Buffalo, New York. Right now, not looking good for the Sabres. It is 6-3 with 16 minutes and 28 seconds left. Duane, no smiles at all on his face as the Canadiens stack another one up on their scoreboard. 6-3 here in the third. Game 5 in Buffalo. Canadiens lead 3 goals over the Sabres. And again, Duane out there on the ice for the Sabres, just playing absolutely no defense. It's a power play situation. And where is Duane to be found? Not doing his job. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. What happens when Duane is on the ice for the Sabres? We take a goal against us. Canadiens get another one. It is 6-3 in Buffalo, New York. Duane, my man, you're going to have to learn how to play defense eventually. It's what you get paid to do. Apparently, they consider you some kind of all-star defenseman in the NHL. Like you're this entire player where they dick ride your defense abilities so much. They think you're some kind of all-star defenseman. I don't see it. I've never seen it. Don't know who put the C on your jersey, but I would take that fucking shit off immediately. Because Duane, you are not it, my guy. Right now, the Sabres are down, defensively struggling. Trying to get 3 goals back in an entire period is not going to be very easy this late in the game. 15 minutes and 30 left in the third. The Sabres really got to be thinking about something new here. Good power play goal earlier, but now the defense is absolutely just fucking. It's the kryptonite has taken Clark Kent, and it's put him down to his knees, and he's gasping for air. The saber-toothed tiger is just bleeding out right now in Buffalo, ladies and gentlemen, trying to lick the wounds in the jungle that is Buffalo, New York. The saber-toothed tiger is indeed, ladies and gentlemen, bleeding out in this third period, while the Montreal Canadiens continue to just pepper spray the Sabres goalie with whatever the fuck they want to do, because the Sabres defense is not going to do anything about it.
That shot lane. He sees Mallenstein, that screen, he shoots past it, and as you mentioned, Penger, no chance for Lyon. He's screened by his own guys, but just a
Demidov for the Canadiens, 93, credited for the last goal.
Great shot as he rips that home.
Demidov.
You know, it's easy to get frustrated, maybe not shoot the puck.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, 14 minutes, 59 seconds remain in the third of what could be the final period if the Sabres don't start really kicking it into that next gear. I guess some of you guys out there can afford the nice luxury cars nowadays. They have things like the cruise mode, the sport mode. Buffalo Sabres need to put that shit in sport mode.
And Suzuki get the assist. They both have 3-point nights tonight.
Me, like I said, I've never really cared much about cars and vehicles. Only purpose of a vehicle to me is to get you from destination A to destination B. and maybe you want to go back. Maybe you want to return home, right? Dream car for me as a rapper would probably be a Rolls Royce. Dream car, definitely a Rolls Royce. I do like the Land Rovers, the Range Rover Defenders. I've always loved Corvettes. I seen a dream Corvette of mine one day when I was at the supermarket. It was this amazing, like, steel blue color, and it's the same color that I have on one of my Adidas hoodies. Just this beautiful steel blue color. Corvette, top down, one of the newer models. Seen my dream car, maybe one day with some rapper money, ladies and gentlemen. I really like the Dodge brand, and it's more like Dodge Ram, because, like, funny story, when I was watching the Wrestler movie with Mickey Rourke, seeing Mickey Rourke drive his Dodge Ram always reminded me of, like, just that hard-working, blue-collar kind of ethic guy. Somebody that I might have even turned into one day in my life. So that's kind of why I like the Dodge Ram brand. And that's why my Dodge Durango is Dodge Ram 2008. 5.7 Hemi V8, which I'm not going to be able to drive anymore. I had to take it off the road recently. Can't afford insurance. Almost $400 in insurance alone. I'm almost 30 years old and paying $400 for car insurance. That's going to be a no more for me. Yeah, no more cookies in the cookie jar with that one.
Renton is working with a financial professional to help plan for his future. Why are you talking in a third person? Because Renton is future.
But I do like the Dodge and the Ram brand specifically because of that Wrestler movie with Mickey Rourke. Every time I see that image of Mickey Rourke driving his Dodge Ram, it honestly reminds me a lot of my dad. My dad used to drive a GMC, so it reminds me a lot of that, like, rough, rugged kind of work Iron Man vehicle. That kind of, you know, this is for work and play, and this is for play and work. But yeah, Dodge Ram. Corvette though, dream car of mine. Rolls Royce, if I ever get the rapper money, Rolls Royce. And I do like the Range Rover Defenders. Those are really great. The best car I've ever been in, I will say, is an Infiniti SUV. This shit had like movie theater recliners, had like TVs and shit, had like 3 rows of seats. The Infiniti SUV was like one of the nicest cars I've ever been in, for sure. And my gym teacher, when I did track and field and cross country, he used to drive a Mercedes-Benz.
We talk about the Sabres, their defensive group, how offensive, while the Montreal Canadiens answer Lane Hudson. I think this play where he sets up Anderson really changed the tone. That tied it at 3, and it's been all Montreal since. He is just so quick.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, Buffalo Sabres are down by 3 goals in the third period. Still some time to make it happen, but time is fading away for the Buffalo Sabres, as they don't really have much left in that tank this late in the game, but they're going to need to find something left. 13 minutes and 20 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, remain in the third period of Game 5. And the Montreal Canadiens still lead with 3 goals over the Buffalo Sabres, 6-3. Montreal Canadiens with the lead. And the Canadiens have honestly surprised a lot of fans. I'm sure they've been the road warriors here a lot in the series as well. You know, coming into enemy territory, dealing with the hostile environment here in Buffalo, not being the fan favorite, especially in Buffalo, New York. They have definitely shocked and silenced a lot of the fans who just don't know how to play hockey and just want to keep talking that shit to teams like the Montreal Canadiens. But like I said, I take nothing away from the Montreal Canadiens. I expected them to give us a run for our money.
Norris able to kick it back to his stick.
And a run for our money is exactly what they have given us, as right now, if the Canadiens continue doing what they're doing, they could be looking at taking the lead in this best of 7 and trying to close out the next game. Game 6 in Montreal could be a reality for the Canadiens as they try to eliminate the series and the Sabres in the next 2 games. The Sabres, though, they still have time on the clock. They can't really count themselves out of this game until that final whistle blows and that final horn sounds.
Saturday night at 8 p.m.
So the Sabres and their playmakers, all of the shooters right now for Buffalo, They're going to have to work extremely hard here if they want to bring the Sabres back here in Game 5. Still down by 3 goals. The defense has not helped it. Again, can't really blame any goalie situations for tonight. At the start of the first period, Sabres and the Canadiens were pretty much giving it to each other, just as you would like to see. Nobody backing down from the other. Goals evened up all in the first. I've really seen a lot defensively that I don't like. And defensively, there has been no protection for the goaltenders. And it has really hurt the Buffalo Sabres in this Game 5. I know, again, you know, the commentary out there, they work for the Buffalo Sabres, and maybe even so, you know, NHL, ESPN, SportsCenter. I always hear a lot of good things out of their mouth about Dahlin, but every time I watch Dahlin play, he doesn't really impress me with what he does defensively. Me, as an actual former player, as somebody that's seen the Buffalo Sabres make a lot of mistakes in previous years, I will say that that defense is not our strong suit. Anytime I'm going to take advantage of that Buffalo Sabres defense, I'm looking to do so. And I think teams are actually starting to capitalize on that mentality as well. Because you can see here in Game 5, the defense for Buffalo is just not where it needs to be against a team like the Montreal Canadiens. Alex Tuch now getting a little reckless right there with the referees. 10 minutes and 58 seconds remain in Game 5 for this third period. Anytime I would see Dahlin jerseys while working at the arena, it was just upsetting. I was like, why would you waste your money on the Dahlin jersey and put more push behind this man who has done nothing for us? I don't know. Dahlin's got some fans out there. Apparently, NHL and EA Sports and the video games, they think he's like 99 overall ability, all-star ability. I just do not agree with that. And if you need an example of why I feel the way that I feel, then you can go back and watch Game 5 and some of the highlights. And anytime that you're looking for the Buffalo Sabres defense, you can ask yourself, where the fuck was Dahlin on that one?
He allowed 3 goals on 3 consecutive shots.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, allowed 3 goals on 3 consecutive shots.
Bouncing to the net, Dobers there again, able to fight it off and kick it
Now,
out.
ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Sabres do get the puck back in the Montreal Canadiens defensive zone.
On 3 consecutive shots.
Passing this one right now around. Wrist shot, can't find the net, way too wide, no accuracy on it. And the Sabres are still trying to make something happen, as they are literally breathing for oxygen right now with only 10 minutes left in the third. Sabres have absolutely 10 minutes to try to get something back in this hockey game. Or they can try to be thinking about, well, in Montreal, they might be hanging up the skates for the end of the season. They got the blue lights at the electric tower right there in downtown Buffalo, very close to the movie theater where me and my mom used to work. My mom still works there across from Shays. Scene One Entertainment. Idris Elba, one of my favorite modern day actors. Great actor, Idris Elba.
Any data source, and with the AI control tower, we can finally manage all our AI.
I really like when Idris Elba and John Cena make movies together too. They're actually a really good duo, and I like their chemistry a lot when they make movies. Idris Elba and John Cena are a really good duo.
A magic sword can make a man as mighty as a...
But, ladies and gentlemen, it is Game 5 in Buffalo, New York, and the Montreal Canadiens are still dominating this one with an advantage of 3 goals. Sabres trying to get 3 back just to tie it up. As it is 6-3 in Buffalo, the Canadiens over the Sabres. And there's still a little bit of time left for Buffalo, but not too much time. Really, at this point in the game, 10 minutes left. Sabres, you basically have to be trying to get a goal every 3 minutes. If we're talking about a 3-goal game situation, 10 minutes left on the clock. That is about a goal every 3 minutes. So statistically, ladies and gentlemen, from my coach's perspective, from my GM eyes, if in 3 minutes the Sabres don't get a goal, you can start, trying to fucking call this one a day here for the Buffalo Sabres. Again, not entirely over yet, but they don't have all the time in the world to make it happen either.
One win away from the Western Conference Final, but back at Sen again, the Ducks are on home ice and they're
10 minutes left. In reality, that's about a goal every 3 minutes if you're looking for the next 3. So this face-off in the Montreal zone, it's going to get restarted here. Tage Thompson gets changed up now. It is 94 in for Sabres on the face-off. Tage Thompson goes in on it off the Canadiens face-off win. In their defensive zone, Canadiens trying to get it out of danger. Now they do, clear it. And that sends Buffalo back down the ice, wearing them down and taking more time off the clock here, which is not a good sound for Buffalo Sabres fans, as they desperately are still looking for the next 3 goals to tie this game up. With the Canadiens, 9:25 now, ladies and gentlemen. Stop on the play down low. Canadian player goes down. 9:25 left in the third. Again, in my opinion, as a coach, as a GM, Sabres, you need a goal every 3 minutes to still keep this game alive and to kind of send the fans home at least with a smile on their face.
Still on the bench. Looks like he's going to try and walk it off down the tunnel.
And now it looks like Owen Power, number 25 for the Sabres, really shaken up after that last play. He gets sent back to the locker room. Injury staff and the coaching staff going to take a look at Owen Power as he takes a trip back to the locker room now. Owen Power feeling the effects of this Game 5 in Buffalo. He steps off the ice, goes back to the locker room. Now Buffalo win the faceoff in their zone. Take it over center and over the blue line. But again, every chance the Montreal Canadiens get, they know what they have to do. They just have to kill that clock if they want to keep this game in their advantage. And so far, they've done just that. All the Canadiens have to do is play perfect defense, and this game is theirs to win. Also theirs to lose if they allow the Sabres to come back at this point late in the game. And the Canadiens not even breaking a sweat on these passes. Literally just doing whatever they want, it seems like. Sabres goalie steps out of the net. Don't like to see that. A little bit of a risky play right there from Luukkonen. But he did slow down the puck for the Sabres, who now have control of the puck in their zone. Sabres move it past center ice over the blue line. On the pass, Tage Thompson. Good shot. On the toe drag, can't get it to go. Tage Thompson gets denied. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Quinn out there for the Sabres. That one goes into the netting, and that is out of bounds. Stop on play. 8 minutes and 4 seconds remain in the third. Already the Sabres have allowed 2 minutes off of that clock. And 2 minutes where they did not make anything happen. So only 8 minutes now for the Sabres to get the next 3 goals that they so desperately need in order to keep Game 5 alive. And the fans in Buffalo, reality's starting to sink in a little bit here. We know the feeling all a bit too well. Down by 3 goals. Players starting to get beat up. Owen Power, he's back out there on the bench now. Defenseman for the Sabres, he's feeling it. Face-off went to the Sabres, but they lost it right back at the blue line. So again, right there, just a wasted possession. Now Sabres get it back down into the defensive zone of Montreal. And that one flipped off the glass by Montreal again. Keep the Sabres working. Keep the gears rotating on the Buffalo Sabres. And don't give them any oil grease. Just keep letting them wind themselves down, wear down each second, each minute of the game. And this is going to feel like the longest 7 minutes for the Buffalo Sabres. as they are still looking for the next goal to at least get some momentum sparked back up into the Sabres arena. Really silent right now. Hometown fans in Buffalo, obviously. Reality starting to set in. That Game 5 is just starting to get way too out of reach. Way too out of hand. This late into the game. Now 7 minutes exactly left in the third. And Canadians are just skating around with it, basically playing keep away with the Buffalo Sabres. And that is exactly all that they have to do. Up by 3 goals. Canadians just have to play perfect defense, and so far, they have done that. Sabres still can't make anything happen on their end of the ice. So right now, win percentage, if you are gambling out there at the casinos, legally, illegally, who knows. Now the win percentages are 78 for the Montreal Canadiens and only 22% for the Buffalo Sabres. So what was once, it could go either way, 50-50 at the start of the game, both teams' percentage for the gambling odds and the betting at the casinos. 50-50 has become 78-22 Canadians over the Sabres. Sabres now only sitting at a 22 chance of winning this game. So, if you want to make any late bets and you feel like the Sabres got 3 left in the tank, you can still make those bets and place them with all the money that people have affordable in their paychecks, apparently. Darlene out there for the Sabres, but he ain't doing much. 6:29 left in the third. Could be a big payout, you know, big payout, 22% on the underdog. Buffalo Sabres, 3-goal comeback. Nobody's even expecting it. I mean, come on. It is improbable, but it's not impossible. And right there, ladies and gentlemen, Sabres pull the goalie off the ice. That is an automatic forfeit to me. You know me, ladies and gentlemen. Me, my mentality, modern day NHL hockey. Once you pull your goalie off the ice and you stop paying him what his job is to get paid to do, protect that net, it's an automatic forfeit. Buffalo Sabres are essentially throwing in the white towel, raising up that white flag here with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left. Yeah, they do get the extra attacker on the ice, but Canadians are pretty much going to earn a goal that they don't even deserve with the empty net out there. And that is pretty much for Sabres fans. So anybody still in the building, I would kind of, once you see the goalie get pulled off the ice, an empty net is never a sign that I like to see. That is an automatic forfeit, in my opinion. Once you pull the goalie out of the net, you stop paying him what his job is to do. You pretty much made the worst decision in modern day hockey. And you automatically forfeited the game. So Buffalo, they do have the extra attacker still out there on the ice. What couldn't happen in the last 20 minutes for the Buffalo Sabres, somehow they think with an extra shooter on the ice, they're going to make it happen with about 6 minutes, little over 6 minutes left. But the Canadians still lead with 3 goals in the game, so 6-3 for the Canadians over the Sabres in this Game 5. No goalie in the net currently right now for Buffalo. It is an empty net. And I'm pretty much just at the end of the game. We have forfeited. The Sabres have thrown in the white towel. They no longer feel the need to keep Luukkonen in the net anymore. Risk to reward just doesn't seem there for me. And again, the stupidest thing I've ever seen is when players want to break their sticks and shit on the ice after the opposing team does score an empty net. It's like, you decided to pull the goalie out of the net. What did you think was going to fucking happen? It's literally a wide open target with nobody protecting it. I mean, I don't know how anybody thinks the risk to reward is actually acceptable there. Yeah, you get the extra shooter on the ice, but the shooters for Buffalo couldn't make anything happen in the last 20 minutes. Now what has come down to the final 6 minutes of the game, just a little over 6 minutes. The Sabres would have to score a goal every 2 minutes if they want the next 3 goals back in this one.
I handle the bugs.
Buffalo Sabres would need a goal every 2 minutes in the next 6 minutes for the remaining third period for Game 5.
Around the house.
Ortho Home Defense keeps bugs out for up to 12 months.
Welcome to Romo Hills.
But fans still in the building. Not a problem, not a problem. I always love fighting until the end, of course, you know. The boys made it this far in the playoffs. They do deserve the fan support. So the fans that actually do care are going to stay until the final whistle. But anybody else, if you actually have some hockey IQ and actually intelligence when it comes to the great game of hockey, then you can notice the Buffalo Sabres are not in the greatest of situations. They are down 3 goals in Game 5, and they would essentially need a goal every 2 minutes now just to keep the game alive in the third period. Duane does put a shot on net. That one goes way too wide. So Duane taking shots that are just not even on target now for the Sabres. And there's Tuck. Good shot. That one goes over the goalie's head. Alex Tuck put a good shot on net. Still empty net out there for the Sabres. So they do have the extra attacker, but at what cause, ladies and gentlemen? The risk to reward not there for me. Pretty much an automatic forfeit from the Buffalo Sabres right now as the net is still defenseless and empty. So Canadians are really just waiting to get the puck back and take that final shot in the game that could be exactly the nail in the coffin. 4:44 left in the third. And it is all just but getting too out of reach for the Sabres, causing way too much time passing the puck around. That one gets sent back down to the Buffalo zone. Can't find the net, empty net. It is an icing on the Canadiens, as it was a shot that did not hit the goal, obviously. But the Canadiens do have it in mind to just get that last goal, that last nail in the coffin to really finalize this thing and seal the deal. Great shot right there from Slafkovsky that just ended up going wide right. Right from his own end, just couldn't find the back of the net. 4:32 left. I've seen crazier things happen in my life, but the Canadiens send the shot right down low. No icing as the shot did go back to the net. But the Sabres able to protect the net enough just to clear that. We have 6 shooters, ladies and gentlemen, in the Canadiens' defensive zone, and the Sabres still cannot find a way to fucking create a play. And again, more time wasted off the clock. Shot sent down low by Montreal, and it is an icing on the Canadiens. Buffalo still empty net. Lindy Ruff and the Sabres. The mentality here is amazing because, again, time is just ticking away. The Sabres still have not made a play at all in the Canadian zone, and we still are sitting at our end of the ice with an open net. Amazing, amazing. The salaries that they're getting paid today, ladies and gentlemen, to make these kind of decisions for the team. Right now, Sabres, they're passing it around in the defensive zone, but honestly, all of these passes have not really been that useful as nobody has taken the necessary shots and really actually making an effort here for the Sabres. Passing it around in the Canadian zone is just killing off too much time on that clock, and that's something that the Sabres really have to avoid. And again, Canadians get it back. That's a shot on net, goes wide. And another icing on the Canadiens, 3:20. After all of these icings, and after the Canadians keep getting the puck back and taking shots, you'd think that the Sabres and their coach and their management would say, hey, you know, let's not take another goal. Let's not give, you know, the Canadians a goal that they didn't earn. But again, guys, they're getting paid these crazy salaries and these amounts of money to make these decisions.
Play down low to Quinn. There's a little shove push right there by Hudson. That's going to be the call by the referee. Then after the play, you can see the whack right there in the back of the leg. Byram went into Anderson. Anderson pushed him back, and then Anderson gave him a chop.
Byram took a whack to the back of the knee right there from the Canadians after the call.
We're still talking. We'll see.
So instead of an empty net now, this could be a power play for Buffalo. And it is a penalty on Montreal for cross-checking. And Buffalo also took a penalty for cross-checking. That is on number 6, Benson. So the Canadians and the Sabres both take a penalty with 3 minutes and 28 left. Still an empty net for Buffalo. Couldn't tell you whose decision that one is, but it's one of the stupidest ones I've ever seen. Sabres desperately need to find 3 goals in exactly 3 minutes and 28 seconds. That is a goal, ladies and gentlemen, every minute for the Buffalo Sabres, statistically speaking.
They said 6.
Yeah, they didn't say 6.
So I know, yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, exactly.
We're talking jersey numbers, by the way.
And now they're having a tough time deciding who actually drew the penalty for Buffalo. Was it Benson 6? Was it for Byram? I say it's a fucking 6-3 game. The Sabres are going to need all 3 minutes to get 3 goals.
What else is new? Just the second power play of the night.
And you start to see now the empty seats out there in the arena for the Sabres. Playing at home. Canadians came into enemy territory, ladies and gentlemen, in the hostile environment. And they got the job done as the villains on the road. Coming into Buffalo and winning what could be a Game 5 in the next 3 minutes. The Sabres are still fucking just passing it around here. Nothing so far. All of these play attempts are getting absolutely defended by the Canadiens.
Not a whole lot of urgency to get this thing started. You're playing the clock, you're down by 3.
And right there you hear commentary even saying there's not a lot of urgency here by the Buffalo Sabres. This entire time where they've pulled the goalie out of the net and they've been on the attack with the extra shooter on the ice, there has been no urgency. There has been no care for the Buffalo Sabres to even try to attempt 3 goals in 6 minutes or whatever. You know, it's 3 goals every 2 minutes. The Sabres just seem to actually be killing more time off the clock, which is actually hurting them than doing them a lot of justice right here this late in the game. And now this shot ends up getting sent right back down the ice by the Canadiens. Number 9 takes a shot at 71. That should actually be a penalty on the interference, but no call on it. Buffalo still on the power play. 45 seconds. So not only does Buffalo have an extra attacker because of the power play, they also have an extra attacker because of the empty net.
Very few in the league right now.
Oh, there's a battle going on behind the play. Evans, Matheson, Norris, everybody was...
There were like 6-7... There was like 7 Sabres shooters on the ice right now, currently for Buffalo, ladies and gentlemen. And we still can't fucking buy a goal if Terry Pegula wanted to. We got 7 fucking shooters on the ice for the Sabres. 7 shooters for the Sabres. And these guys still can't fucking create a play. Unbelievable. Benson heading back to the locker room now, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remain. Buffalo Sabres still have 43 seconds left on the power play opportunity. The Sabres have an extra shooter off of the power play, and they have an extra shooter off of the empty net. And they still are struggling to make a play when they've had all the pressure in the final minutes of the game.
He puts on the brakes into the crease, sprays him, and that's why he gets the whack right there. A lot of times the officials will call that
unreal, ladies and gentlemen.
Unsportsmanlike conduct when you spray like that and you stop in front of the goal.
Sabres lost the face-off. They get it, trying to get it back around the boards currently. And the Canadiens really doing a good job just keeping it spiked up along those boards, taking time, more time off that clock.
25 seconds on the power play into the final.
And now final 25 seconds on the power play for Buffalo. Which again, ladies and gentlemen, Sabres currently have an extra attacker from the power play and an extra shooter on the ice from the empty net. And the Sabres are still struggling to create a play when all of the final minutes of the game has been time in their possession. But when Power takes a good shot, went a little bit too wide there for the Sabres. Couple Sabres down low. 2 players, and now Canadiens trying to race back for it. Buffalo still sit on the ice with an empty goal. Again, guys, It sucks to see how the Sabres can end up with an extra attacker, not only on the power play, but an extra attacker from the empty net. We have 7 shooters. 7 shooters on the ice for Buffalo, and they still cannot create a play.
That's not easy to do.
Crazy.
Physically or mentally.
We got 6-7 shooters. All the extra attackers that we could possibly buy from Terry Pagula. And it's just not going to matter.
Toe picked. Puck comes now for Norris. And his pass goes
33 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, left in the third period. That puck sent all the way back to the Sabres zone. And now the Sabres, what could be the final 20 seconds of the game here, had to put up a goal in the last 10 minutes, and now we're talking about the final 20 seconds, and the Sabres still haven't fucking answered back with a goal of their own from the last 3 from Montreal. 7 minutes left in game 3, or I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, in the third period for game 5. Sabres down still by 3 goals, 6-3. Canadiens lead.
After a loss, they come back and win. I mean, their last 14 games.
The Montreal Canadiens are 5-0 following a loss. This postseason.
Coming back after a loss, they're used to playing in tight games.
They are saying that the Canadiens are really used to being that underdog team, having to fight back from a loss. Canadiens, so far postseason in the NHL playoffs, they are 5-0 after a loss. So it seems like when the Canadiens do lose, they find a way to bounce right back and correct their mistakes from the last time around. That's exactly what they did tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Montreal Canadiens will win Game 5 in Buffalo, New York. There's the final images. As you can see, getting a little scrappy-do down there. Definitely getting a little scrappy-do down there between the boys. As tensions rise at the end of the game, but just not going to make a difference here for the Buffalo Sabres as it is all said and done for Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. The Canadiens will win it 6-3. 3-goal difference for the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Thank you so much again, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, checking out the channel. The boys are still going at it. Still getting a little scrappy-dappy-do down there. But thank you again, everybody, for checking out my channel, spending some time with me tonight to hang out. We got Game 6 at the Bell in Montreal happening next. It is going to be Saturday. Hopefully you guys out there, you enjoy your Thursday night, Friday and the weekend right around the corner as well. So thank you so much again, checking out my channel, spending some time with me to hang out. Ladies and gentlemen, ghosts and goblins, witches and wizards, vampires and werewolves, please, if you deal with depression, suicidal thoughts, any type of mental health situations, always know that there's somebody out there who is able to talk to you and maybe extend a helping hand if that's what you're looking for. Thank you once again. Until next time. Peace, God. Good night from Buffalo.
Finish off Buffalo 6-3 in Game 5.
Brandon, thanks so much.